Oh my god, it says you're live.
Yay!
There he be.
Oh, I've got
And his sound is
I've
working.
got an
Good.
advert of Billie Eilish holding fire in her hands.
Nice.
Oh.
That's kind of dangerous. Don't do it at home, kids. Kids, why are you here? Go get your adults. Get them to watch too.
On separate devices.
Yes.
Oh, now it's in the rain.
Oh.
Oh, it's in the.
Mm.
Oh, it's.
But,
I'm a very good commentator.
I liked it. That was good. I was enjoying it.
Strong.
Is the player audio good? You were saying there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Excellent. Good. If that is as sorted. Hello. Good hello, in fact. Yeah, so welcome to the Keepers of the Golden Gate session 114. It is the 20th. I know, right? Dear gods, the numbers, they just keep adding up. 26th of November, 2021. Yeah, you can count on it. I'm Ryan, the GM, and here are the players.
Hiya, I'm Adrian, and I play Arya Bluebird, the half-elf druid lady.
I play Isla, the tiefling sorceress.
Oh, we missed the start of your audio, or at least I did.
I did
Oh.
as well. I didn't get the high.
Sorry.
You want to say hi?
Oh, we don't know who you are.
Yeah, who even could you be?
I'm Hannah.
Yeah, there we go.
Got it.
Yeah. Hi,
First
I'm
try.
actually Maratus, the Dark Elf Wizard.
Hi, I'm Callie, and I play Sabine the Furbog Leader.
Oh, we're doing well.
Yay.
Strong start.
Yep. We are Son, Scott, and or Crumbar. For the time being, hopefully he shall return to us soon. But also, likewise, this game might get derailed through December, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Who remembers what happened last time?
Oh.
To block it out of my mind so I can sleep better.
Sad. All
There
of
was a
the
lot
sad.
That's it. A summary.
Yep.
Okay. Any details at all, perhaps?
Oh, we had to go and yeah.
We had to inform people that there were two dead kings, and one of the people we had to inform was the son of one of them, and that is possibly the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very sad session.
Cyril has destroyed a vast majority of our house by the sounds of things. Totally get it though.
But she sent all the people home like a responsible boss.
And then blew up the house. But we're behind her.
Yeah, we
and the boss
agree.
is just kind of hanging out with us. This is a bit unnerving.
The gang?
Yeah. One of the cool kids.
Arya did some scrying to try and find Magna's body, which is probably buried under ash right now. But there was no Candir body near that, so yeah, he's put her somewhere.
Oh.
I think they're in the Ashen Wasteland.
Yes.
He is at least, yeah. Which is what last I think we
tiny island.
Trying to figure out how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get there now somehow.
Yes. Yes. Okay, yeah, yep. Anything else, or was that everything?
We told Rasira mainly about Magna. Ruined his day again.
Yep.
It's been a bad day. But we got persuaded to sleep. That was good.
Yeah, he was very tired. He looked like he hadn't been sleeping much, so we made him oversleepy.
And yeah.
And now we need to, figure out how we're getting to, that target.
Yeah.
on the screen. That is our goal.
Yeah, that's same.
Okay.
Because the aim is bring back Kindia's body. Because we've been like it's not cool. She needs to come home.
So, yeah, let's have a look at some goals then. So, who wants to tell me the goals? Or more accurately, who will?
I mean, there's 4 goals and there's 4 of us. Everyone do a goal each.
Can I do? Get an eye of Jaina.
Locate GGW.
Check in with the Astral Hammer.
Adrit?
I'm trying to get access, guys. Sorry, it's not easy.
If you were trying to get, say, for example, Candir's body back, what would you be trying to do?
It's a game of synonyms.
Loading. Alright.
It's okay. You're making it. You're making it.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, so that was it. And for me, we need to make sure that the body retrieval mission does not cause a situation.
Okay.
I
And
still couldn't think of anything that I would put that.
Serene.
You want to check in on Gestoria.
Yes. Oh, Isla.
I want to make sure that we get to the Ashen Wasteland safely. In one
Keyword. Keyword.
safely.
It's capitalized.
Yep. It's important.
Should it all be? It should be in all caps though.
Yeah, that would be great. Someone can do that for me.
Okay. 2 seconds.
Thank you.
Moratis, while you're doing that, you're the last goal to be read out.
Research what's happened to my eyes. Cause Nanny.
No, it clearly says Mataris.
Yeah, who's Mataris?
Yeah, that would help if I had spelled that right.
It's just the R and the T that obviously decided to change places this week.
Yeah, in my brain. Maratus. There you
And
go.
I was kind of interested to see who this Mataris was. It was like Maratis' brother. We've never heard about.
Twins.
Twin.
Yeah.
Mama can barely cope with me if there was 2 of me. Maybe that's why my brother's missing. She's
think
like,
that was
I can't
like-
fucking handle 2 of them.
I think legitimately one of the first things she said to the group was about the fact that she only
Oh,
had
yeah.
one kid.
One's enough.
Yeah.
That was enough, thanks.
Yeah, research what's happened to Maratis' eyes.
Yes. Discover who this Mataris fellow is, sneaking in,
Have
changing
you
your roles.
seen your eyes yet? Do you know?
Nope, so that is a goal that'll happen when it happens.
We haven't told.
Have we
No
just
one
not
said-
said anything?
Nobody said anything. I wandered around with solid black eyes.
To be
and
fair-
I'm
I
going,
wonder.
what? But we've all had a bit of an emotional
Yeah,
day. I
to be
don't
fair,
think my
most people
eyes
have
are
been crying.
priority.
And you're a
Yeah.
bit weird, so it might just
Eyes are weird. Maratis'
Yeah, I
eyes are
also
kind of
don't-
funky.
Don't understand wizards and probably I'm just like, yeah, that seems legit. Like, that's probably.
To be fair,
A thing
Isla's
that
eyes are
happened.
quite weird generally.
Yeah. Oh, that happened last time. People saw the blue flash connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is.
Conclusions can be drawn.
Yeah, like if they weren't if they didn't have suspicions before, then they really
Mhm.
should now. Yep. Obviously, we have Bastiel and Crombar's goals floating in the ether, which Bastiel's was learn trains.
We keep that forever.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
keeping
And it's
that.
the best goal.
yeah. Like train learns, I guess, would be almost equally as valid. And then you've got Crombar's,
We
which
teach
is
a trade.
yeah. I do train your train. Oh, it's so dumb. Crombar's
There you
is still Serac.
Thank you.
Santa Cora for Leeds on GDW. Just fantastic. So good.
Doing that way more than they should.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know why that's just enjoyable. I think it's just it sounds like a good character name, like Serac.
Mm.
Right? Oh dear. He sounds like he could be a lord or indeed a lady. Serac.
Mm.
Anyway, so there's our goals. We take them totally seriously. Don't say we don't.
Okay.
Totally seriously. Yeah. So, do you remember where yous are?
In
Not in-
Horizon,
Racera's office.
we've just
in
had a
Horizon.
kit.
We went up to Scry. So currently, Arya is holding a scrying ball. That I think Isla was deeply encouraging her to just pocket.
Yeah, probably.
It's fine.
Just keep it.
And we were all running about the rooms trying to figure out how, like, looking at scrolls and books and stuff within Racera's office to get to the Ashen Way.
Yeah. So, we open there. What's the plan?
I love how you
no.
assume
Yeah,
we
can
have
we
to-
do
Ah!
some kind of research on how we get to the Ashen Waste safely?
What are those on their home again?
Yeah, exactly. What's a research? And a plan. Remember, Crumbar went off to get Aramos from the library and never came back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we should probably
Go.
find.
Could go research that if you wanted. It's
Yeah.
entirely up to you if that's the plan.
Like whether we've exhausted the books here. I don't know. Are there any? I'm just going. If is Racera still in there, or is he still having a nap?
No, Rasira's in the room. Yeah, he's still in the room.
Okay.
You have spoke to him.
Oh yeah. Racera, do you have any particular books here that might help us research how to get to the Ashen Wasteland? Do you know how we could get there? I feel like you would know. How would we get there?
Yeah, and I think as the conversation continues, because you've told him what you scried, right? I think that was discussed out loud by everybody. So he is aware of what Arya saw there, but he looks around and he kind of looks a wee bit more proud of himself when you mention it. I think you should know, he definitely does get a bit of, self-satisfaction out of that. And he says, not many have travelled there, long time, not since Magna took over from the Empire.
Hmm.
He just kind of nods as if that's all completely known.
Was it forbidden to travel there, or just people didn't?
Kind of just nods at you while rubbing his beard and smoothing it out.
Come back to being no help. Okay.
I just look really awkward because I feel that's possibly the first time I've spoken to him. So
Yeah,
it's you're done. I'm not talking to you.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, cool. He didn't
Sorry,
snap at me, so
you
that's
just
cool.
feel like Maratis tugging on your shirt, the back of your shirt, and doesn't say anything, but he's clearly got two books in front of him, and he's jotting something down from one book into the other, and just kind of points at it like, I've got something. But he's obviously deep in concentration, trying to learn something new.
Okay. So I'll while he's doing that, I'll be like, acknowledge that you're doing that. Give kind of a backwards nod. I don't know how to do that. Okay. So maybe we'll find. We'll need to go get Eremos. Oh, did we did say that Eremos is here? Didn't we? We did. Yes. One other thing, Racera. So, well, I was thinking that we didn't see her. We didn't see Justoria, but would have thought that Magna would have only have come back if he managed to get Justoria, but she wasn't there.
I think Rasira looks a bit kind of grave at that and says, unfortunately, it might be that we have to acknowledge the possibility that she was unrecoverable if he did indeed return to us without her. It kind of just nods like solemnly.
Is there any way we can confirm that? We try and we can't send a message to her if she's still in another plane. I don't know. Could we scry on her again? I feel like we need to check where
Okay.
she is.
He kind of blinks and then just looks at the orb, like the crystal ball in
yes.
Arya's hands, and he goes, "If there's anything else that you require to utilize your capabilities, I do feel like given the nature of Arya's primal powers, by comparison to my own arcane powers, that maybe your efforts won't be as
Oh, is she better than you at scrying?
And he kind of looks at it and he goes, I understand why you would think that. It is more a case of Justoria and Magna very gifted in the arcane, you see, but not so adept at the primal schools of magics, like, and he gestures to Arya. So it is not necessarily as easy to block out.
Efficient.
And he shakes his head when you say efficient, and he goes, if I was trying to block other wizards from finding me, I wouldn't think of druids. And he just nods.
Oh. Yeah, Arya nods, taking it almost like a compliment.
Yeah, it kind of is, right? Because like, if essentially
and-
saying that like
Yeah.
a magical arcane wizardy way of trying to find somebody isn't the same as a druid way. But yeah, that's what he kind of says.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I like that, and I'll say, well, I'll be happy to try. It definitely won't hurt to try.
And he kind of like shakes his head and goes, I should hope not. He kind of like blusters away and continues doing what he was doing.
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, Arya, I think it'd be good to know.
Of course, that would indeed be something I can do. So she'll I'm just putting the spell to 0, and I'll again.
I was gonna say, yeah, how many fifths you got?
2.
Yeah, nice. Isn't it nice to feel like at this stage
Well,
in the
now
game where
0.
you're growing in power and you can pull off shit like this multiple times?
I've got a 6 and a 7, so
Which is
technically
awesome.
I've got 2 more after this if I wanted to.
Yeah, because I
Keep
knew you were
scrying.
at 7th
Just
level
have
magic.
the
I just didn't know how many
crystal
fifths.
ball doesn't, get used up.
No, it just needs to be there. Yeah, like it needs to exist, so you've got
Yeah,
something to get
exactly.
info from, like a TV essentially.
Keep it forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just it would say if it was consumed or not. So you're lucky it does not. So yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah, it's the reason why a components pouch makes sense to me. Because it's like the equivalent of having stuff like this in a little bag. Whereas obviously the ones with cost are just the more slightly annoying ones to try and gate progress. Which doesn't really gate progress because the GM either says you can get one or you don't have one, and that's it. There's no gating. It's just binary, if you ask me. But anyways, so I'm gonna cast this. Right. Is there anything I need to be aware of that I need to do in this? Because we've done this a few times, but that's just a wall of text.
I think it's a spell save DC of 16 if they don't want to be found.
And it's modified by how well you know them. You know Justoria fairly well. Target knows you're casting a spell. It can fail it voluntarily. Wants to be observed. Knowledge, save modifier. Right, so you definitely have had first-hand knowledge. That's at least a +5 if it matters. I'm going to skip the rest there. Do you have anything of Justoria's? In fact, I know you don't have the bracelet parts, but was there anything else you had of hers?
I think so, no.
A bit of a
Not
nail.
anymore.
Or do you have the Justoria Restoria, or did you use yours?
think I've used it. No.
Did you
I ever used mine.
Did you give it to someone?
I'm double
no worries.
checking right now.
Because I know you had that as
Yeah,
well.
it's this potion of long rest, so I think
It
that's
is. Yep,
what
that's
you
exactly
told
it.
us they are.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I called them potions of long rest, and then I think the group called them potions of Justoria Restorias.
Well, I went by the book.
It's good. It's good.
Rules as written, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the first gifts Justoria ever gave the party, was a long rest potion, which was kind of peak, to be honest. Right, failed save, blah 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 blah, and then instead of targeting creature, you can choose a location. Okay, you're gonna go for Justoria. Right, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh.
Oh, wisdom saving
Yeah.
throw.
Right.
I'm in trouble.
I was going to say on gift you
Oh,
inspiration if you don't have it.
I do have it though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll gift you one and then you can
I'm just-
have it afterwards.
yeah.
Keep it banked. Keep it banked.
Keep it banked.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll put advantage then. Wisdom. Oh god, 13.
It's okay, and I'll go and approve my rewards queue. Perfect. Thank you, Kelly. And yeah, so
Thank you.
describe how Arya sets herself up for this scrying attempt for the narrative, to set the scene.
I'd like to think that in one hand she would have the Justoria Restoria thing, and in the other hand she'll have the little orb-like thing. And you know when you're like a little kid and you play with dolls and you kind of like smush them together and you're like kiss, but so that kind of like that, like just touching those two things together and just like with her eyes closed, and it just kind of like sounds like she's mumbling something under her breath, but you can't quite tell what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Almost more like humming or like some like creaking of thingy of branches. Like doesn't sound like a language of some sort.
Yeah. Right. Where is everyone else in the room? So obviously if the room's a fairly large office with loads of kind of bookcases around it, and Arya was kind of set up, say, just in front of the desk in the middle, who's nearest Arya? Masira's off doing his book thing, chasing floating books around the room to give you space to do this spell. So what's the layout? Because I know we've got all of you in this room, in fact. So look at yourself, super. Okay.
I'd be at a desk like.
There's one
going
desk in
from
this
one
room.
to the
It's
other.
for Cirrus.
Okay,
So you
cool.
can-
I'm at Research
Yeah,
desk. I'm sitting at it, just being like, I need to learn this.
Okay, so you're reasonably close. Isla and Serene.
I was talking to Asira and I was near Ratus and then.
Yeah, so just kind of like the other side of the desk, I suppose. Then.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And Isla.
Maybe be like scanning bookshelves, trying to look if there was anything about just like on the spine.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Rough guide to the Ashen Waste.
Yeah. No worries. Okay, can Maratis and Serene then make me a wisdom save as
Oh,
well?
no.
I'll double check. I feel like I have
You got a ranger thing for this?
something. Yeah, I don't know whether it's on specific things.
It's okay, have a look.
I've got something. Oh, there's too many things to check through.
The horror. The horror.
This is why I like Dungeon World, because you go, can I do this? Probably.
I have advantage against being charmed or frightened. Is it being charmed or frightened?
No, but you can have the advantage anyway.
Okay. Sure.
It's close enough, if that makes sense.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. Wisdom save. Oh.
Nice. Okay, so to describe what happens, this is perfect for me, by the way, which is usually the way these rolls go. So I'm pleased that the Roll20 gods are still on my side for narrative purposes. So what happens is, Ari, you have to make a choice. Okay. There is a surge of power that runs through you, like a wave that emanates from you, like from your core out. You can save one of the items in your hand.
Oh shit!
Save the potion.
Oh.
Save the potion. There'll be hundreds
save-
of crystal
save the
balls.
potion.
And fucking
Yeah,
we'll get another
There'll be
one.
hundreds of crystal balls.
Yeah, exactly. 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 Exactly.
Yeah. Just picks up like a font
But
next.
Sarah doesn't need to know I had an option, you know?
I mean, exactly, right? Just say the spell went badly and it happened to break this completely on its own choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were scoring.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
weren't using
absolutely.
the.
Okay, so you're picking the orb, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
The orb to go,
Exactly, you want to save the potion.
and,
Yep,
and I keep the
perfect.
potion. Yeah.
Yep, so you channel the energy down the hand that's holding the crystal ball. As that process is happening, right?
Uh-oh.
Are you find yourself in a forest that's half on fire, half like frozen as if in winter. Okay.
Oh, God.
And then Moratis, you again feel like your mind's about to be like affected, but like almost it could even be like your Fey reflexes if you want to go as far as that, even though elves and Fey are so tentatively described. But you do like manage to like almost, you know, like the whole blood pressure thing when you're going to stand up too quickly and like the darkness is trying to take over and then eventually you pull through. Maybe that vibe, right? Where you manage to like, you know, hold your own as if that was weird. What was that? And then you'll witness the aftermath of this scene, which I'll describe eventually. But you manage to resist what's about to happen to the other two. Hannah, your indication will be when that orb shatters, which I'll describe in a moment.
Go.
So while you're looking at bookshelves, Serene, you too are pulled in with Arya, right? As if you're close enough to have been pulled in with Arya. You recognize what you're seeing though around you, Serene. You see the, you know, half burned, half frozen forest as the cairnwood.
Uh-oh.
That translated. You with us, Kelly, still?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I was just.
It's okay. Yep, cool. As long as it wasn't just audio issues. Yep. And it's, for lack of a better term, it's the like the south of the cairnwood. It's a lot more marshy. At the cairnwood. At the south near the big lake. At the bottom. It's generally not land that you would have like occupied. It is kind of left to its own devices. It's a lot more kind of wild and dangerous. It's very like dark, spooky, fey, ghost story type area, which is why it's fairly left alone. And there was theories from your people that that's maybe where like the initial hellhole opened up, but it was never confirmed because more popped open, in more like prime locations, as it were, within the cairnwood itself, closer to the actual settlements of your people. Speaking of Prime, anyone that has a Prime subscription to Amazon, feel free to subscribe to this channel for free, and you get badges. Look at me being corporate and sell out. Happy Black Friday, everybody. So,
Well done.
yeah,
Can
okay,
I ask?
Yeah.
So, you said this bit is like marshy and swampy and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's on fire, or is it
So-
the bit that's on?
So
ice? Oh.
there's a forest around you, right? And like You're at the edge of the main forest that is the Cairn Wood, which is where Serene comes from.
Gotcha.
But it's on the border where there is the marsh to the south. So you're kind of just at the start of it, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you're looking at, like, as I said, half the forest looks on fire, the other half looks frozen in winter. It doesn't look like it should be able to exist in those states. Let's put it that way, with what you're seeing.
Oh.
You then, both of you, like, feel like a chill up your spines. I'm assuming your races have spines, which I assume you both do. And then, almost like a whisper snaking its way across the ground and up your spines to your ears. Yes, enjoy that. You hear like a rasping, hissing, "Find me," rattle in your ears. And then you snap back to the room that you're in. And as you snap back,
Sound like?
that's where the crystal ball shatters, alerting everyone in the room.
Ah!
Yeah.
I will spin around, like hands up defensively, like instant lightning, and then be like, "What? What?
Sorry. I don't know.
Are you okay?"
I think like
Is
at that
everybody
moment,
I look really panicked. I'm like,
In
I
that
can't deal with
snapshot-
anything else to do.
in that snapshot moment as well, like a book falls for Sierra was looking at, and he just like grabs and hugs it as it falls.
Yep.
At the shock, and then he like kind of hobbles around the other side of his desk to have a look, to see what happened. Maratis, you were at the desk, so it's happened just in front of you. It's his reaction.
Probably because he was
I'll
getting
say,
that.
I'm
weird
sorry. I
feeling.
don't think it was supposed to happen this way.
And then that happens. He's probably going to piece together in its head that was almost like a reverb that he got a feeling of.
Yep.
And just looks at Arya and, "Are you all right, dear? That was a lot of something coming out of that."
Yeah, that was well, I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but I could see something. I could see a forest, and I think I know which one. But what happens is
You both saw it, but you weren't touching the ball. See it. And Ratta's just kind of just looking between Arya and Serene like, "You're behind me! How the fuck did you see what she scried on?" Like, that's not how this magic works, to my knowledge.
No. I don't know. Did we recognise the
you saw
voice?
it.
The voice was some kind of strange, nice audio mix of the demon Justoria and obviously Justoria herself.
Oh
Okay.
fuck, she's still
Didn't
dead
realise it.
demon
Yeah.
form.
I think I heard Justoria. And I think I saw the Canwoods. I think I saw my home.
Yes. Arya's just gonna nod, kind of like it definitely was woods, and half of it was on fire and half of it was covered in ice. And just out of curiosity, could I tell was the voice coming from one of those two sides?
No. So the voice seemed to come from behind, as if to the south in the marsh.
Oh. So I'll say I think she's in the marshes south, the Cairn Woods.
Maratis will get like up and start like picking up pieces of the crystal ball and just putting them in his clawed hand, just trying to make sure Arya doesn't get any on her, like trying to be quite meticulous and maybe prestidigitate at the same time, so there's no shards that she can hurt herself. Would he send her there? Something there? And I'm looking to Serene as if it's your home. There's something special there. That why would Magna put Justoria there of all places?
I don't think she's herself again. I think she's still possessed.
Why send her there? Something.
Any people could he hurt
prevalent?
there? Could she hurt there?
There's my whole family are there. I did tell you this, Maratis, that there were hellholes where I'm from.
Yes,
And the White sent dragons there to help protect. Yes, so.
And once he's kind of cleaned up with this, he'll come stand up and like take Serene's hands in his and just kind of rub her knuckles, thumbs. Is there something? Because believe Agna got her. He sent her. Go to that hell. Yeah.
I think so. It was when I left. We never really went to that part of the woods. It was kind of on the edge of our territory. I think that's where the first hellhole, at least in Cairn Woods, showed up. I think it's the first one we knew about.
I will reiterate as well that there is no guarantee there is a hellhole there. It's just that was the assumption is where they came from first. Nobody ever found confirmation that there was one there. Because by the time they were gonna be brave enough to amass people to go search,
There was more, yeah.
One's closer to the settlements.
There was things coming from that kind of
Exactly,
direction, so.
exactly. Yep, they came from the marshes, but there was no sign of like an origin point, just that they came from there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of just say that as like that. We don't know that that's if there is one there, but that's where we started seeing these things come out, and I don't know. Yes, I'll be fine. It's just a shock. I didn't know.
Rasira then says, "Did the spell work?"
We didn't see her. I didn't see her. Did you see her? Oh yeah.
No, I just heard something that sounded like a sonic version of her. That was good enough for me.
I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Go.
I'm not sure why I couldn't see her and only hear her, but I guess we're not going to learn. Maybe that was the edge of my power.
It tells us that she's here, though. Some form of her.
What other things to do though? We can't.
We should make sure your family's safe.
I'll pull out the icicle that the White gave me, and just kind of whisper into it. Are you there? It's me. Are you okay? What's going on there? Something's wrong, more wrong than usual. Please tell me you're safe.
Yeah, and then, I mean, again, you feel like the crystal like break away into the dust it did the last time, but no response as of yet.
Did I get a response last time? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think it was just you sent off a message of like, here's an update. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
And Candir said to you specifically if there was any word from the Cairnwood, she'd let you know.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't check in with her now.
Mm.
Oh.
So,
When you story.
At least she seemed to be coming out of them. Whether she was opening them from the other side, I don't think we know.
Where she is, that's where the hellhole was.
I don't know if Maras knows this or not, but like everybody else should know that she has originally been the one to be closing them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's something Maras should learn now. That means somebody that knows needs to tell him, though.
Do it.
I mean, you don't need to tell him, but it might help.
I mean, we can, yeah. I'll say she used to get a lot of help from her. She would close hellholes, and once we learned that after closing a hellhole, she was very weak for a long time. And just as she was recovering, that happened. And I can't remember if we told him the rest of the story, but it was just the Arya is still traumatized.
Mhm.
Exposed to that magic caused.
That perhaps closing off the hellholes holds some sort of demonic energy in her, and then when she was attacked, she couldn't keep it under control anymore, so it took over. Or at least I think that's what happened.
To the king. Can get us potentially.
Don't know what to do.
My answer is just know that right or wrong, so just need to make a choice. Again, family. Did.
Isla will nod along with that and add in. Your family, it's now. We can do something now to help. If we're right about the eye, it's getting deeper in ash, but it's not going anywhere. We maybe have more time with that. Your people should know if there's something else threatening your home, Serene.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
Go find Eremos. And then
Sarah takes the shards of the crystal ball off you, or else just
Apologetically, like pour them into his hands, and it's just like, thank you for everything.
Okay, just awkwardly shuffles around you and just nods, and then sits like the pieces of glass on his desk and goes, "Is there anything you require for the journey? I'm afraid I'm not quite so free to go travelling around the disc with you as I once were."
that wasn't you. That was me.
I was waiting for you to say that. I'm like, there we go.
I didn't actually hear it. It was too quiet for me.
Can we get another one?
We get another one, please. We broke this one.
1,000 gold orb.
Yep.
Can anyone here do mending? Does that work on this object?
I actually don't know.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I don't think that would work on this. Come on.
Because it's no, it's not considered a magical obstacle. It is just a crystal ball that you're using to facilitate your magic.
It's a component, yeah.
Yeah, does that? I don't know, man.
okay, so it wouldn't work because it says here it repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch.
We could take many minutes. I'm pretty sure mending takes a minute to do that as well. And be like, okay, I'm going to put these two pieces back together. Great.
Piece it together.
Oh,
Need some sovereign glue or something. No.
dear. Yeah. The worst object in the game. Yeah, the sovereign glue. Oh dear.
Could we possibly work at a player agency? Do we ask for things like
What do we need?
potions or anything like that? Like, apart from basic supplies like
Like,
food and water,
realistically,
stuff like
what are
that.
you capable of doing? Because technically, like, Arya can keep used, like, fed and watered if she takes the right spells, and healed,
Mhm.
right? So you've got all that covered
Yes.
if need be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the survival box ticked.
Right?
Yeah. I have a little
Welcome.
bit of healing, not much. But
Yep.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
I can weatherproof us.
Mitigating the weather powers, yep.
I can lead us through areas, so we don't need maps or anything.
And it's going to be like your home turf, essentially, so...
That's my hope. Yeah,
Yep.
that's my hope. I should have advanced.
You should be pretty good at it, yeah.
I think that's old Ranger.
Mhm. Luckily, thanks to the power of backstory, you should be in a good position to roll regardless.
Yeah. What do we need? We've got.
I can make us into sharks.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
There is a lake there, so...
there is a lake we can go swim in.
Ah, swamp snorkeling.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Uh,
We've got the Rod of Power,
you have the Rod of Power, that's
which we
correct.
know has closed hellholes.
Are you going to player agency that out of the magic box Grumbar's carrying, or what?
Oh yeah, I'll take the box back.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got the box.
Grumbar gave the box back
Yep.
Yeah.
before he went to the library.
Yeah.
Yep.
Considering I'm the one who can open it, so.
Totally.
Somebody write that in the Roll20 chat so it's logged somewhere. Try and mention that it's because
I'll
Scott's
write
missing
it.
for 4 weeks.
Okay, I can see Serena typing. I will.
Oh,
Like.
so you were typing.
No.
I know the politeness
Okay,
wars.
I'll do it.
Yep. Okay.
God. Yay.
The curse is returned, by the way, to my spell sheet. I have
Right.
2 witches' bolts and no ice knife.
Man.
It's reversed this time. What the fuck?
I think really you just had a witch's bolt the whole time and it was lying to us.
Evidently. Right, excuse me while I go fix
Yeah.
this.
I love the fancy box.
Why is it
because
those
they're just empty apart from the Rod of Power.
Yeah.
Like rattling around in there.
All the gold.
But it's a nice little lockbox though to have, so that is
Yeah.
something.
All the gold on 4 arrows.
They are still really cool
Yeah,
arrows
more
though.
They are really, really cool.
Got 4 cool arrows.
I mean, if MD was going to be able to make cool magic arrows, he's the guy, right? He's an
no, right?
enchanter.
Do you have any cool magic arrows? Talking about.
I mean, I know that Maratus has a story
Mucking
point
about,
that he
you know,
could
you're gonna use
spend
them.
here if he's wanted something big.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. I have a story point. So if we're thinking of something big,
It needs to be something. Yeah.
Can he just go and get us the Eye of Janus?
Yeah.
Can we
Well,
give you this
we're doing
abstract
just totally
concept?
Waste that. We'll go to the Kenwins.
So you want to send Rasira,
Exactly.
the tired person in charge of the kingdom currently,
Yeah, I'll be
to
fine.
the Ashen Wasteland, unsupervised, I might add.
I'll be totally fine.
Yeah, he does totally fine by himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're talking about?
we don't take.
You know, like his brain's fried.
Magic money. He'll
It's
be
like
fine.
you get to the swamp, right, and then you just look up and go, "Is that a moon going for the Ashen Wasteland?" Yeah, it totally can't be. Right, Hannah? Right?
The moon. Maratus has assured me that the moons are fine.
I promise you. My
I'm
fingers
The
now
Kenwoods
less
is
stressed.
on fire and icy. We don't technically know that we're fire immune yet. Do we want anything against fire or ice?
Ooh, that's a good point.
That is a
Yeah.
Or
I
something
love that you have
can-
been immune to fire for ages now, and it's never
So
come up.
long.
So long.
Like,
Never.
So long. Do
We
people
will
have
never
any spells to put out fire?
I can cause lots of fire.
Hang on. Prestidigitation. Does that put out
I've
fire?
got water.
I can stuff out a candle. I told you.
Water.
Yeah,
Fire.
I think
So
I can
yes, but
do.
limited.
and yes, Adria has
I've
abilities
got-
that can make water. Yep.
I've got a shape
I
water.
can
so
banish
you
the
make
fire.
water. I'll
Banish the.
flip it around. Together
Yep.
will be Katara.
Yep. Yep.
I've got my friend Dragon's Breath thing as well, so I can give someone ice breath.
Mhm.
And then we can just make the ice worse. That'd be great.
Yeah. So you still get
We
reasonable.
poison the fire.
You've got reasonable combat skills against fire, so that's not bad.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ice.
Mhm, mhm,
Oh,
um,
I can
Fire.
yeah, fire. Yep.
polymorph us polymorph one person into a polar bear.
Mhm. How's that going to solve the
Then
ice
it's
though?
ice.
Is that
Then you're fine on the ice because you're a
Okay.
polar
She
bear.
just skeet about on it like yeah.
okay? Okay. Mhm.
I have my shield thing, my fire shield, fire ice shield thing.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
I think that only works if something hits me, and then it gives it either fire or damage, depending on what I had chosen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how helpful that would be overall.
Do you want to pop it in chat?
Just,
Just dump it in chat then. You may as well. Feel free to, because it is a
Yep.
thing. Sorry, Sabine, go for it.
sorry, I was just going to ask, shall we ask Sarah if he's just got any, like, magic scrolls?
This is what I mean by like the story point. Like if you're wanting like an inventory bump of stuff, like it would need to be something like the story point with the Rasira, to spend to just cash him out on things he might need to defend the kingdom.
Are there any spells you want to learn, Marcus? In your book?
Lots. Like, the more spells, the better for a wizard, yo. I've not got any spells in my head that I can think of, and also it will be up to Ryan. So I would say just I would just be like, what have you got that you can give me that you think I can learn before we leave?
Yeah, like how long is it? Like what's the learning process for wizards again? Like is it 10 minutes or 1 minute per like spells level? I think it is something awful.
Yeah, it's something really stupid and obscure.
Yeah, so go learn how you
Like-
do that before you hit me up with trying to learn spells.
Go learn how you
Go learn how you learn. Yes.
How do I learn to learn in the house?
Train how to learn. Learning.
Learnception.
What type of learner are you?
I am a train.
God.
Trains.
Um, But for example, like if you'd wanted like a quiver of like magic arrows or something, that would be like the story point that you'd be spending to buy that. If you wanted a new spell that was a reasonable level, that would be the story point you're spending. That's the level we're at here. Because like what story points I've done in the past for people have been a great many things. It gave Serena an entire side quest where you in fact saw Justoria in the first place. That ultimately led to getting the Rod of Pa. So that wasn't bad. It was tense as fuck, if I actually just comment on it fully.
2 hours per spell level.
Yeah, dear
For each
gods.
level of the spell, the process takes 12 hours and costs 50 gold or GP.
Per what? 50 gold per what level?
Which is silly, because why should it
Yeah.
should it be expensive to cram? Surely you just sit within your
You
notes
It's-
in a book until you
It's like the
memorize
practice
it.
the
magic
spell
script.
until you
Yeah.
until you
Practicing it.
understand the sounds or gestures required, then transcribe it into your spellbook using your own patience for each level of the spell. The process takes 2 hours and costs 50 GP.
Yeah.
You go buy ink and paper and stuff.
Eremos! Come here!
Drink or what?
Okay.
So there is that. But keep in mind, whatever you take from him, he will not have to give to his kingdom. But things that have been used in the past, story point wise, as I said, we've had Crombar accessing the Glitterhagen armory for the Golden Order and equipping the team with pretty much some amazing gear, quite frankly.
Yeah, still golden.
Yep. Your gold breastplate that your half plate that you're still wearing, right? Crombar's original plate mail that he wore. Everything kit he carried for a while was just. She was full. She could barely walk. Like she literally had no more like carrying capacity. She just carried everything she could. Yeah. So that was.
Does Rosira have that fancy eye patch that
No.
Martis needs?
No, it doesn't. That doesn't exist in this universe. Considering that was made
No.
for a specific character.
God damn it!
Yeah. As I said, I'm not in the nature of fixing someone's racial problem when I highlighted it in character gen and told them it was terrible. Yeah.
Yep. I love the
Um,
fact that Baldur's Gate doesn't have it. It's like if you want to play them, we're like, no, we don't talk about that. It doesn't happen. Just throwing it to the side.
Are you sure? I thought it was in Baldur's Gate.
It's not.
That's so weird.
They're just like, nope.
Yeah, because it's one of the more penalising of the racial traits than compared to anybody else's, actually. But as I said, I've made Natalie a deal regarding her eyes in the past. She just didn't want to take the risk.
You're gonna rip my eyes out! I don't want that!
No, my exact wording was, I'll let you spend your story point with Rosira if you want to shift your eyes, but you're rolling on the reincarnation table to see what eyes you end up with.
So I could end up with eyes that can't see in the dark, though. I could end up with human eyes, which are
All of the eyes that you're going to end up with will be worse than drug eyes for seeing in the dark. So that's just something you're going to have to accept. That's the deal I made you with your eyes. That's the type of thing Rosira could pull off, but it's risky as fuck.
Yes,
That's
and
You could end up with really
I am
cool
not doing-
eyes, though.
Oh, but you could have really.
My eyes are cool! Like, I literally sat and
Yeah, but
drew
they're
them the other
shit. They're
night.
shit in the sun.
Yeah.
I don't know. They look nice, and the fact that they're going to not look nice is also an aesthetic thing that I'm like, I don't want him to not have his dad's eyes because he has his dad's eyes.
Oh.
So, that's not a thing he's giving up.
Apparently your eyes are black, so it's not like you've got your
Yeah,
dad's eyes
currently
currently.
my eyes have been compromised, so
It's
I'm
fine, you
wondering
don't know
what's
that.
going on there.
But as I
You don't know
said, that's the deal I made you, and that's the deal that's on the table for Moratis's eyes. And I think it's exciting, right? Because it's a risk. So
Yeah, but story-wise, for him, it doesn't make sense. Like, to his character, he would not want to change his eyes to look like his dad's, but also at the same time, a drow with shitty human eyes.
yeah. And you
I
just
love
have
how
to-
much you hate it.
He could never go back. He could never
As a
go
wizard, you
back.
could just cast a dark vision of on yourself, though. That's the benefit of being a wizard.
I don't
We've
have
got, like,
that spell.
Yet,
got, like fire and stuff. We can just light up a torch.
also, so the options are Dragonborn, a Hill Dwarf, Mountain Dwarf, Dark Elf, High Elf, Wood
God.
Elf, Forest
Could you
Gnome,
imagine?
Rock Gnome, half elf, half orc, halfling lightfoot, halfling stout, human and tiefling. Those are all the options of the eyes you could get. I did laugh saying it is funny that you could end up with drow eyes again.
Could you imagine if he ended up with dwarf eyes? He'd actually rip them out with his claw. He'd just gouge his own eyes out and be like, nope, not having that.
Would he know though?
I'd
I was gonna
literally
say,
rather
the thing is,
Marathon
though,
totally
yeah.
blind
Yeah, you
than have
wouldn't know.
dwarven eyes.
You wouldn't know though, Maratis wouldn't know what they were.
Sure, we could magically suss it out.
Nah, no spells exist
We
for that.
we wouldn't help you do that.
Yeah.
You were gonna claw your own eyes
Your
out.
eyebrows are super bushy as well, you know, and you start growing a beard.
Imagine that's how it worked. Your eyes. Oh no beards for
No.
eyes. But it's a D100 roll, and it's exciting. And it is only between a 22 up to a 25, inclusive of those numbers, is the one that would be the worst roll out of all of them, which is Dark Elf.
No, human.
Oh,
No.
that would suck.
Dark Elf. Because if you're a human, you don't get to see in the dark, but you're no longer at disadvantage in the daylight. So you're still kind of quids in.
But knowing what's going to happen next, I'll be in the dark and be raging that I wasted a fucking point on needing to see in the dark.
Well, whose fault is that, right? But this is
That's why I'm-
this is the deal I made regarding the eyes.
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. It's not going to happen.
They also for rare oils and unguents worth at least 1,000 gold that the spell consumes. Just rubbing loads of crazy oils into your eyes, going to the. Does it feel better now? Oil 1 or oil 2? Oil 1 or oil 2?
It's like that scene in Clockwork Orange. Just the eyes are held over when you just put the drops on.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
So that was the agreement I made regarding eyes. So moving swiftly past eyes. If it's not going to be that,
Need anything.
because that'd be an exciting thing to take to a new adventure, would be new eyes. Just saying.
My eyes have already changed in the last session.
You
so
know that.
no.
You just got loads of ink.
Mm.
You know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
You
And
don't
until
know
I
what
know
that
what that means, we will have to wait and consider.
I mean, no, because currently you might be spending your story point to get something else. So it's not really, this is kind of a now or never eyes thing here, right? Unless you don't spend your story point on the other stuff. So,
Thing is, I'd have to sit here and try and figure out like whose eyes I can hope for because I don't know what they all do.
me neither, and that's why it's kind of exciting.
No, because what if we end up with one that's just like, oh wait,
That's
they
the
actually
risk.
can't see in the sun or the dark. They actually are only good in
No, none
dim
of their
light.
eyes are like that. None of
I
their eyes
don't
do
yet.
that. Nobody's eyes are that.
Somewhere.
Nope. 'Cause
Someone.
the only dwarfs that
Don't believe
are
it.
here are the Highland Mountain. There's no Duragar or anything like that here. So the only person with sunlight sensitivity on the list is Dark Elf. Oh, excuse me.
Elf Queen, why did you make us this way?
So that's the choice you need to kind of make. Ultimately, now, realistically, because it's your story point.
But it would benefit the team more if they all got something out of it rather than just me, and it could be not good.
I
if
mean,
my team-
average dice rolling being higher in a success bracket based on no disadvantage is a good thing for the team, by the way. Like, the percentage bump you'd get is probably significant if you got to ignore disadvantage on most conditions that you're likely to be in. Because, generally speaking, you're a daytime party.
Yeah.
So, there is that to consider as well. Who else has story points? Because I feel like other people
Still got
have them.
one.
Yeah, so you've got one.
With the 5.
I've got
It's now the
I
4
think I've
dear.
used
It's now
mine
the
either.
4.
2 seconds, let's cycle back a bit, Kelly.
I was saying I've got 2. One with Forsetti
Mm-hmm.
and one with Magna. So
Mhm,
neither of them particularly useful at this point.
Yeah. Man, you've had the most, I think, in the
I
game,
think
by
I've
the way.
still got mine.
Yeah, I think you might still have yours with a high druid as well. Yep. Because that was who you had yours with originally, I believe. So,
Mhm.
like, again, keep in mind these things can be, like, quantified into stuff, if need be.
Yeah.
So it's not just that it's all on Maratis here. Like, for example, the one that Callie would have with Magna is applicable in the same conditions that Maratis is, because Maratis was one with Magna as well, but obviously that applies to everything within Magna's domain. Including...
So we just go, hey, Rasira.
it's the exact same as like you just have the exact same story point, like equatable, if that makes sense. Like you have done enough to have warranted this pool, as it were. So there is that. So you aren't just the only, like as I said, Marat, it's just on you to think, if I use this selfishly, does that mean we're cutting the party down? Because Don's Golden Reach, the monk that was in the game from the beginning, he did just use it to get himself bracers of defense from the Golden Citadel. Because he wanted more AC for his monk character, and that was legitimately fine, because he took nothing other than like a handful of darts from like Crumbar's use of it, which got primarily him in plate mail, which is what he wanted. Yeah. Isla, obviously yours is primarily with Cyril. I think this is where like Bastiel suffered, because he had picked the 5 as his story point but had no backstory to support it, and kept trying to spend it on becoming like a disciple of the, like the Red. And I'm like,
wanted to meet the Red.
It's like, you could spend it with Cyril to get her to get you a meeting with him, but you could just say no. That's the downside of that. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do it that way. I'm like, okay then. I don't know how else you're going to do it, but if you can think of a way, let me know. So yeah, it is tricky. Obviously, it's been like 2 and a bit weeks since the Hydroid was wiped out in terms of like energy levels, so it seems like he could have recuperated enough to be of use if you're looking to spend a story point to try and gain something from the Wildwoods. Yeah, but it just depends what you're after. But this is what they're here for, is for you to cash them in to get stuff, essentially. So feel free to go through them. Also, whatever you get with Forseti, I have no idea what Forseti could give you, Serene, but it could be something interesting, because Dwarven God of Justice is pretty good.
Also, that's a god.
Right?
So if we can't find the GGW.
He'll give me like a fancy gavel. Yeah, we just use Fassetti. What the fuck is
Yeah.
I have said this so many times.
I don't know any of these guys. It's on yours.
Got a story point with him. I could just go, hey guy, can you please help us out?
Remember that assets page I told you would be really handy to organise all your shit? Yeah.
And it's using the Astral Hammer, which is all to do
Yeah.
with
Dwarves.
I just
Yeah.
like, hey guy,
But
we
I
need
think
your help.
I think we all get swept up in Scott / Crumbar's
Yeah.
obsession.
Scott has a lot of enthusiasm that is quite like, no,
Infectious.
I was gonna say
You're
aggressive.
like, yeah. Obviously, the big gold dragon.
Yeah.
Of course. You're not the person we have a story point with as a party.
So, okay. How about this then? I'll make you all a deal, right? Everybody here gets this deal. We go on break and you just have a think about what you want to do, and then we come back after break. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a good
Right.
plan.
I will see you in 10 minutes. Goodbye, everybody. in theory. Back. We are back. Ooh.
Oh.
Is our audio working for play hours?
Yep. Audio's good.
Okay.
Yay.
So, welcome to the Keepers of the Golden Gate, session 114, part 2. I'm Ryan, the GM. It's the 26th of November 2021. Here are the players.
Hiya, I'm Adrian, and I play Arya Bluebird, the half-elf druid.
Hi, Hannah, and I play Isla, the tiefling sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I play Maratus, the dark elf wizard.
Hi, I'm Callie, and I play Serene the Furbolg Ranger.
What would Scott say? Hi, I'm Crombar. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crumba.
Crumba.
Mm-hmm.
And Shannon would probably get his perfect, so yeah. Yeah. Only when Shannon was absolutely like knackered would he ever get it wrong. And it's when he was that tired he was barely on this plane of existence, so it was usually pretty obvious. Oh dear. So, after our brief aside, we're back.
Yay.
I'm sure we all thought about our story points deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. So, anyone come to any conclusions?
One. Oh! What?
Gonna roll 100 and get a set of advice.
Oh my god.
So, here is my additional deal to that. If all of you buy yourselves inspiration, I'll let Maratus roll twice and pick between the rolls.
I have inspiration, you can use it. Or do we have to buy it? I can buy it.
If you have it ticked on your sheet, you can just get rid of that, or you can buy it. But it needs everybody here to have done that.
Sure.
Okay, so you're so you're on
totally
tick.
happy to buy it, but I might need someone to re-explain to me how that works.
Okay, are you on the Twitch?
Yes.
Okay, see at the bottom where if you see a little picture of my face at the very bottom of chat, you click on that. I need everybody here to have done that.
No, now you're talking to me in two places.
Hello, me.
Oh no!
Right, you've got the click on the little button there, and then it should say give inspiration.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, I figured it out. Maybe. Give inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I've clicked on it.
I'll ask you to type someone's name.
Okay.
Okay.
Natalie.
Hey!
Hey, I did a thing!
Yeah, I'm going to keep mine as well, so just in case.
Yep.
I will buy you.
And Natalie, do you have one on your sheet, or are you buying one?
I have one on my sheet.
Okay, so you no longer have one on your sheet, is what you're saying.
Yep, it's gone. Buy myself another set. Straight away.
Cool. So,
That's what I was
are you just buying yourself inspiration back, or are you happy to be without inspiration for a bit?
I will be without inspiration for a bit.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
I am not logged into Twitch on this computer, and
No, you're not. You are not going without
that's a pain.
inspiration. Take this. Take it.
Oh no! What I'm saying is, I had it ticked because
So the thing is, Arya, what she's saying is she's bought you inspiration. You would know that if you were able to see Twitch, which you can't, you just explained it to her. So I'm going to just clarify that now. So you still have inspiration, thanks to Natalie.
Hey,
there you go.
you.
Cool. All covered. Good.
All
Pay
the
back next time.
inspiring.
So. No. I don't know what you're doing. There needs to be roleplay elements here.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah. You can't just be like,
We've
what
got
that?
that conversation.
Yeah.
If it helps, Isla would maybe look at you and be like, I thought it was just Marata's your eyes. They're still. And I'm going to like wave at my eyes and I'll dramaturgy so it looks like what they look like currently.
He just kind of stares at you for a second. How?
I think since Eremos brought help. I'm trying to think of the right word.
Woke you up again? Like,
She looks panicked at you, like, and brought you back?
Where is he? I'd like to question this a bit. And I'll look to Rosera as if, do you have any fucking clue? Because I can't see what's going on here. Just,
and like he kind of like looks up from one of his books and goes, "What?"
Yeah, she's saying that different.
And kind of like stands up and comes over and looks at you and goes, "Huh. What happened to them?" He starts like lifting, like open your lids and staring really closely in at your eye.
I was brought low, and compatriot that's currently here just now revived me.
Kind of just leans back a bit and says, "Huh. I'm not really sure what to make of it yet. I feel it would take a bit of study to try and find out exactly what." He like waves his hand at your eye. This is.
Okay.
But you said that the Ceremos did this to you, and he is in the palace.
I last I checked, he was.
Then why are you asking me?
To try or something.
He just looks back very quickly at like the shattered pieces of glass on his desk, then back at you and goes, "I would very advise that you perhaps swiftly go seek out the answers from the source rather than myself." Yes.
Excuse me, and I'm just gonna head out the door to try
Yeah.
and find everyone. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah. What's everybody else doing in the room?
Looking panicked.
Mild concern.
Yep.
Because I turned towards Rosera, and actually, I was yeah, I just asked him, Rosera. So I suppose, well, we'll be going soon. You said you had you would offer any help. Have you got any weapons? Yeah,
Kind of looks at you and
good
goes,
ones.
"What kind of weapons?" And he like hoists the book up on his like side, big tome that he's holding us. Just double taps it with like his knuckles. "Best weapons you can get."
Yes, I guess so. something magic.
I think it like holds the book up even higher. Yes, like, precisely.
I kind of lost that dagger you gave me, so
He kind of looks sad. He goes, shame.
it fell into a hellhole.
Oh.
Sorry.
He kind of looks a bit like, did it at least protect you?
I don't think it got any hits in the It like through it and then
Did you get any mental comfort from it? Like, I don't know how.
I feel. Didn't you give it to Poppy? Did Poppy just have somebody with
and then
it?
I think she was gonna. Yeah, she tried to hit Justoria and then dropped it or something.
Or maybe,
Like,
maybe
something
not
like
mention that.
that.
It maybe stabbed Justoria.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah.
Imagine Magna found that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Right? Imagine if Magna hadn't, gone the way of, the Candier. Then what would his first thought to be if he saw like the body of like his daughter and a knife from his Archmage?
Great. I think it would be great.
That's yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. We'll pretend that's not a.
Luckily,
dream
that
that
timeline
happened.
never happened.
Yes.
Fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So something like that. Maybe something. Maybe a bit bigger. Like something to fight up close. Like I've got my bow and things, but I'm just worried in case things get a bit too close and I don't have anything. I've got a staff. I've got a quarterstaff. I don't think it'll and a hand axe, but they're not very strong there, and they're not magic. Do you have anything magic? You do have magic. You've got magic.
Well, what did you have in mind specifically? See if I can find anything spare. And the agency moment here is like, what actually can you use?
I can use martial and simple weapons.
So pretty much anything, really. So my next question would be, what would you what would your ideal be?
What would Serene use?
Yeah, because that is essentially the list that you've named. That's the list of weapons. Yes.
Martial and simple weapon. I think she'd want like probably swords are so plain.
Swords are so gauche. Is that what you're gonna
so
go for? Because that's
plain.
funny to me.
They're so clean, but I don't think she wouldn't. I don't think she'd really use like many like big axes or anything. I don't think she'd use like a bladey thing. So it probably would be a sword.
Yeah, if you want to be, because would you, just to be even more mattery, would you be using your strength or your dexterity?
I would be using my dexterity.
Okay, so we're looking for a fine. Is it
Finesse,
finesse? Finesse?
Finesse.
Of that weird French-looking word.
Finesse weapon.
Finesse weaponry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want a finesse weapon, but you're not fussed about like what it kind of looks like. So you're not like super into swords, more than hammers, more than like I don't know what else you'd have conversationally. But let's see, 5e weapons table.
I think
it's like one at the end of the simple weapons table that's got all the vowels, or no, all the consonants in it.
What we got?
I think she wouldn't be too fussed about what she actually used, as long as it, she's very practical. Finesse weapons. What I'm looking for.
So let's see. Right, so I'll just go down the list, right? So a dagger is a finesse weapon. And then the next finesse weapon that we come across is a dart. And then the next finesse weapon that we come across is a rapier. And then a scimitar.
I was going to say, something like a scimitar.
And then a short sword. And then a whip.
Ooh, a whip! Oh, no.
A whip!
And then, what else we got? Yeah, it's pretty much us on the melee front with finesse specifically. So
I suppose it is there going. Oh,
let's
probably. Just looking at like damage.
see. Yeah, let's see. Is that going to format well?
Rapier, I think is
Like-
there.
Like a rapier is probably the most elegant of all of them, and in terms
Yeah.
of damage, it's a D8.
It's D8 compared to D6.
The only
It's an
difference
entire short
is
sword.
that a scimitar and or short sword are finesse and light, which means you could dual wield with them.
Oh, that's true.
Which is cool.
So dual wielding works in the sense of you can make a main attack, and then as a bonus action you can do an offhand attack. The only thing you don't get is the bonus to the damage that is based on your modifier. But you still get like the D6 roll, but you don't get the plus dex on the damage. On the offhand one. You still get it all on the main one. So that's the difference between like that. The only downside to that would be if any spells you're using require like somatic components, the S, you wouldn't be able to cast them while you've got two things in your hands. But you can easily drop one, cast, and then pick it up and stuff. It's just a bit clumsy.
True.
But that
Nice
means you'd have the options to do like extra attacks, if that makes sense. I know extra attacks is a terrible phrase because you do have that as a skill, but you get what I mean.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
And
Yeah. So you can have a think about that, and I'll come back to you, right?
Okay.
Okay. While that's happening, Hannah, what are you doing in this room? Or should I say Isla? So Mariah is just...
What are you doing in this room?
Yeah, what are you doing in this room, god damn it? So,
yeah, I think
Maratis
I'd probably
left.
follow Maratis.
Right, okay, cool. Are you following in the sense of keeping up with Maritis and thus talking on the way to find out what's going on? And or are you keeping your distance? Okay, cool. So let's have that
I'd
scene.
probably run.
Let's have that scene then.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, wait, Arya, are you going with Team Maratis Library Eremos, or are you staying with Serene and Rosira?
I mean, libraries are always cool.
Okay, so you're following on as well then. Yep, cool. So we'll have you
Oh yeah.
conversationally walking down with Maratis. I'm assuming Maratis is walking fairly swiftly.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, you can tell me, Arya and Isla, what the conversation with Maratis is as you go. I assume he won't start the convo.
No, I think I full on run to try and catch up. So I'm like,
I'll try to perhaps keep pace and make sure we don't lose anybody on the way. You know, the one with the short legs.
Yep.
And
I just fully trip over a lot.
Oh.
Maggie Simpson style.
Yep. I step on my own.
Make myself into something that would pick you up and
Just literally a mama bear.
I just imagine how freaked out people would be seeing a bear with a thing on its back just walking around from one bit to another.
They've probably seen stranger things, just not
Yeah.
necessarily in
It's
their face. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But
I also feel that's no weirder than who we are when you're not a bear. I feel
Yeah.
that's equally weird.
Thanks.
You have twigs in
baseline
your
is
hair.
actually pretty
I'm
high.
blue. Maratis's eyes are made of ink. Like, none of us look normal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think I'd be like running, and then like out of breath, being like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you didn't know.
It's all right. It's all right. I tend to look in mirrors very much anyway, and he's probably got like the kind of like heels of his palms and his eyes like pressing them into them, like what's going on? Like no.
Do they
He's just gonna keep.
do they feel different?
No, nothing at all. Yeah, I didn't notice. I hadn't said anything. I don't think I ever would have noticed. I
look concerned then about my own eyes and try to remember when I last looked in a mirror. I'm like, oh, I see. Yeah, we don't. I'm sure it's nothing bad. it seemed to help in the healing, and I'm like running. Like you do like 2 steps and then like a little jump to try and keep up with someone taller.
Oh, it's so cute. Yes, I don't. They don't feel like they hurt. They don't. I've been. I think I've been. Oh, I just.
They've. Okay, I'm sure there's an explanation.
You were going to say purely logical there, didn't you?
But I'm just gonna wave at the whole of horizon. Like
Yeah.
magic bullshit.
I mean,
Probably a
I
student
was-
I used past, probably just tuts, as you've said, like magic bullshit vaguely.
I mean, what exactly did you do after he dropped me? What did he do? Because I don't know what happened.
So you were unconscious, and I helped you not die. I think maybe I wasn't entirely sure, but you seemed okay. And then he came over, and I'm going to recount what he did because I don't fully remember,
Okay.
but Isla would.
Okay.
I feel like he came over and he put his hands on Maratus, and then ink came out and went into Maratus's face, and then Maratus came to consciousness.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I say, but in a slightly less. Yeah, maybe don't use. Yeah, the ink. It seemed, but I think that's what he uses. And I'm gonna like sparks between my fingers, as in like I do sparks, like he does ink.
I mean, that explains why I was choking something when I woke up, which was not pleasant. So it might even be in my bloodstream. Oh God, where's Erebus?
I assume we speed up at that point.
Yeah, he probably is near enough choking.
That's good. It's good exercise.
So yeah.
Go get there. Go get to the library, please.
Yeah. And, you get the library. It's reasonably busy with like people. Sat with a book and Eramos at a table off to the side. Said there's, a reasonable amount of traffic for the size of the building that you're in. Yeah. No crumbar in sight either.
Oh.
Maratus will probably stop jogging because he knows how to have etiquette in a library.
I'll probably go for like 3 steps more.
And I'll just gently approach Ermos. And has he got seats near him?
Yeah, it's probably just at an empty table.
Cool. I will sit.
As I said, I've described it before like a big study hall.
I will sit next to him and just.
I think as soon as you approach, he's just going to be like, "Oh, are we leaving then?" He closes the book he's reading and just sits it down.
A few things first. What have you done to my eyes?
He narrows his and stares at you. He goes, "Whatever do you mean?"
But you know.
He stands up, and as I said, he's reasonably tall. Looks over at you. He says, "Ah, yes." And just like waves his hand over them, and you just like feel the sensation of like liquid coming out of your eyes.
Oh.
Is it like tears? It feels like tears, or is it unpleasant?
I mean, are tears pleasant? Like, yeah,
Doesn't hurt.
it feels like liquids coming out of your eyes. I don't know how
Right,
to
good.
describe it. It just means you need to blink a couple of times after it. Yeah, he kind of like rubs his hand and says, "Ah, yes."
You're
Some must
crying,
have
but
been."
you're not sad.
Is
Yeah.
there ink running down Maratus'
Is there
face?
ink
No.
pouring out my?
Okay.
There's absolutely none left. Yes, it seems like there was some left behind. Not the only one. Not the only amount left behind, from what I can tell. He looks down at like your bag, and looks back up at you.
Can you assure me there's none left in me?
I can. Are you holding that ink for any particular reason?
I'll reach in a wee bag that he has and pull it out, and it is just in a wee inkwell. See, I had no idea it came from. I did intend to. Perhaps in my. But if it is, and I'll just.
I think he just blinks when you say that to him. Like, clearly somebody that has no idea what to say back to that statement. Kind of just looks at Arya. And gives Arya like a really deep look. And then looks back at Marathis. And says, "Yes, I think the experiments are possibly best left for after the world is either still held together by hope, or it has completely fallen to the demons."
And I just kind of shake the ball as if you taking it or no.
It looks at you when you like shake the bottle and says, "Are you returning it or simply teasing?" "Thank you." He puts his hand out.
Place the bottle carefully in his hand.
And he undoes the stopper in it, and then pulls the ink out of it. And it does seem to just absorb into his hand. And then he hands you the bottle back. Puts the stopper back in after he's handed you the bottle. And says, "I appreciate you looking after this."
If you could quantify it.
"I cannot." And he's like, goes back and picks up his book, puts it in his backpack, and then slings it over his shoulder. "You said we were leaving."
Stuart. Pieces. Can.
And it's got like her head between her knees, like breathing.
To what was that? I missed the last part because I couldn't hear. Marathis is too quiet.
So, sorry. He said that they are going to the Cairnwoods. As soon as they're kind of set up, they're going to be going to the Cairnwoods.
You said something after that though. You said
I think
Cairnwood
to
something
his
something.
Notion,
Right.
to my notion.
Right, that's the part I never heard. Yep, cool.
Yeah. I was just gonna like support that, but like non-verbally because I'm still getting my breath back.
Okay.
I'm just like, yes.
Shall we go collect the others then?
Kenwoods.
And he just kind of like pleasantly, like very briefly smiles, or fleeting smile maybe is a better term. Says, "Shall we collect the others then?" I believe Crumber went towards the kitchens.
And he's probably still rubbing his eyes a little bit, like, what?
As I said, it was just that sensation of like they're dry, so you need to blink a couple of times to obviously like get your tear ducts back in full swing. Yeah, maybe realizing the sensation of they didn't need to work for a bit. Yeah, that's weird. So, yeah. And then it says, "Well, let's make some progress then, shall we?"
Let's try. Kitchen back up. But I know if we pass the kitchen going back up there anyway.
You definitely didn't pass the kitchen.
Right,
Kitchen's further
so
down.
Kitchen. Oh.
I could go and get Crumbar and bring him up.
Well, guess I'm just going to go with what everybody else goes with. I don't quite.
I need to go back and speak to Sarah.
Well, I think I'll just stay because I don't want to. Well, just in case you want to talk privately, I don't know how these things go. He is, after all, your mentor.
I'll see you back up. You'll turn and start heading back up the tower at a slower pace.
Yeah, so then Arya, Isla, and Eremos head towards the kitchens then.
I might, while we're in the library,
Yeah.
See if I can find someone who looks like they know what's going on. Is there like a
what is the-
librarian? I think is there a help desk?
There is not a help desk, no.
Yeah. No, I
Is there
don't
a
think so.
student that I've not been forbidden from talking to?
Well, none of these people you've been forbidden to talk to, right? This is not the same as Anvil.
Yeah.
So
I'm like I feel safer. Like just as someone who looks like they've
I do
come to
love the idea
library
that mental holdover, because that wasn't that long ago. Ultimately,
Yeah, I know. She's flinchy. She's flinchy about students. They got a bunch killed, and she wasn't allowed to talk to any of them.
Aw.
It was awkward.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you could pick a student at random if you wanted. Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty much going to do that. I'm just going to grab somebody.
Okay, roll a d100.
Amazing.
And then a d3.
Oh. Sorry, I'm going to need.
That's okay.
So it's roll.
Yep. And then 1d3. So a space 1d3. Yep.
1d3.
Oh, so you need to do a / before all of that. That's fine. Almost
Cool.
perfect. You can also just do / r space 1d3 as well.
Oh, I said rolling the. Oh.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep. So you see an elf male, right? Who seems to be a bit more what's the word? Authoritative? Yeah. Than the rest.
Sure.
Yep.
Sorry, excuse me. Just, we're in a bit of a rush. Is there anything in here on the Cairnwoods or the Ashen Wastes? I like gesture as if I know they're very far away from each other, but also.
And then wait a second. Time to make a note of this.
Do you
person's name.
have a geography section I can run to?
Okay. And he looks at you, and he looks at the group of you, and then he says, "Right. Did you just pick the smartest looking person in the room to accost with your demands, or did you have anything specific in mind?"
Very smart.
What did you say? Sorry, it cut out.
You look very smart.
Roll persuasion.
So they get my character sheet functioning.
Yep. We have a Serena on standby if need be. Remember.
Oh god. It's beautiful.
Okay. Let me. Okay, persuasion.
Believe in you.
Believe. Come on. Be my friend. Wow.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, "Flattery. How banal." And just stares at you for like a good 10 seconds, unless you say anything.
I feel like she's considering. No, this is maybe not the place to get cross. Deep breath through the nose.
You could do a
Don't
wisdom
electrify
save if
the-
you wanted to see if you're got the self-control.
No, it's been a day. She's gonna hold on. She's
Okay,
gonna hold on
okay.
to it. She's not gonna electrocute the whole library. She's just gonna go, nope.
Take after Cyril that way, though. And he looks.
Well-
Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
I didn't really have anything after that.
That's okay if you
Wow.
go, And he says,
It is what it is.
and he points at the far side of the library and says, "That would be the geographical section of the library. If I can help you in any other way, I am sure you will find me.
I'm sure I will. Is he tall?
For you, possibly. He's probably about like
Oh.
he is a high elf, is what I rolled for race,
Mhm.
or what you technically rolled for race. But yeah, he's I don't know, probably like let's say 6'2", maybe. So he's like for an elf that's pretty standard, I think. But for like you, that's pretty damn tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know taller people, so I'm gonna compliment on his height. Screw him.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm gonna look at Aria and be like 10 minutes? And I'm gonna run. Full on run. Fuck library rules.
Yeah.
Fuck your library etiquette!
Like I think he just sighs and then looks at the rest of you, so Arya and Eremos obviously, and says, "Is there something I can?"
I am so tempted.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
second, I'm so tempted. If I've got it. Damn it, I've not got it. If I had fly, I would have given you fly just so that you can literally fly to the.
Mhm.
That would have been awesome. I could have cast Thunderstep and just electrocute him.
All of the
Across
books
the life
on the
rock.
floor, out of the bookshelves.
I think you would just have hit everybody in your little group
Yep.
as well, though. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
get
my
a nice
idea was
person.
to help her make less noise, not more.
Oh. No, I don't think she cares about that. I'm really sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh, I know she doesn't, but I'm thinking that she might need help from the dude again, and that he might be more willing to help if we are not running around the library, literally.
Mhm. Yep.
I turn towards Eremos and say, well, do you really like books? That's still the case?
Eremos like
Anything in particular?
he looks at you and says, "I find varying narratives quite intriguing. People's points of view differ so distinctly. But this isn't exactly the time or the place." And he just stares at this elf, and then just hard enough for the elf to just kind of like go back to whatever he was doing.
Oh. Well, Arya did remember her manners and say, I think we're good then. Thank you very much. And she just like pulls Eremos away.
Okay, yeah, and he's head off. Right,
It's
Isla?
not my fault his childhood was cut short and he didn't have
Exactly.
parents to like teach him how to act, you know?
Right, Isla. You're looking for some kind of geographical, what? You tell me what you're after knowledge-wise. Help me out with that.
I think what would be ideal is like some kind of like maps or something that we could then use to like pinpoint locations to go to or give us a better idea of like where we'd be going.
Okay.
Because I feel like she'd know enough about things like teleportation. Because it's within her remit, even if she can't do it herself.
Okay.
To know that knowing stuff helps.
Yeah. Where do you want to focus first then? Cairnwood or Ashen Wastes? Because
I feel on the Ashen Wastes because Serene knows the Cairnwoods, whereas none of us know the Ashen Wastes.
yeah. Can you roll a history check then? Or an investigate? Your choice.
Oh, history.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep, so you pour through the books, and as you can imagine, there's little to no information on this place, other than essentially a footnote in some other book that was tangentially mentioned, like one of these, also see this source for information, and it just says the Ashen Wastelands is like the former capital of the Dragon Empire.
Okay.
Which implies the best people to know about the Ashen Wastelands would be anybody in Axis, imagine, in a seat of power or historical relevance.
Yep. Okay. That's fine.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. I will run back across the library.
Yep. You do find out from that, I would say,
I'm quite sure you could close your eyes and ask that question, and then somebody who's a dragon might reply.
Different types of
Right.
dragons.
The other thing as well is
They would know.
what I'm saying is this was like 50 odd years ago. Like the desolation, if you will, happened of the Dragon Empire, and it's kind of been left out of respect by everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
And some of the party have been there before, and there was only one person they met there. So yeah, that was Vishal.
Ah. Yes. Okay. That's true. People have been there. Okay. That's fine then. I'll run back.
Okay.
I feel like I'll mention quite loudly as I rejoin Arya and Eremos. It's just not got the information that we need. It's not a very well organised space. I'm going to sweep out the library.
Yeah, and like I think Eremos just kind of like nods and says, yes, I think perhaps the less we antagonise the... Well, yes, let's go. And just like marches out with you. And Arya follows suitably narratively. So yeah, while that's going on, we return back upstairs to Serene so I can then acknowledge half the things have been sent.
Me.
Yep.
Alright.
That's okay. That's okay. We're back to you. So ultimately, I've kind of got something in mind for what's going to happen with the weapon magically.
Okay.
Just so you know. But I don't mind the Dex thing happening to make it like a bit more suitable. I kind of assumed that if it was using your spellcasting mod, it would be worse for you than Dex. So
It's the same.
mm-hmm.
My spellcasting is wisdom, and it's my dexterity and wisdom is 4. So
Yeah, like I'm kind of 6.5 a dozen on that opinion.
yeah.
So it doesn't really bug me. Finesse is just a word that we can very easily understand. But if you wanted it to use like another stat, that doesn't really bug me.
Yeah. I don't mind. It was just because I saw that and I was like, oh, that would like narratively at least excuse it.
Yeah, like the reason why I don't mind is because you're asking a magic enchanter man to do this. So like it's 6.5 a dozen to me. It'd be different if it was like an armorer making a weapon specifically designed to be more dexterous, right? That's where I would say it'd be more likely to be a dex rather than anything else. But excuse me. But yeah, ultimately you're kind of taking a wee bit of a gamble on what the weapon's actually going to do. But I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll post like the kind of image that I saw that I sent to you. So I was looking at a mall and I was like, ooh, it's got ram heads on it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Ooh.
And that seems a bit
And can be
silly.
acquired for the low price of dollars.
Yes. 231 Canadian dollars.
So is it a mole you want?
I guess so. I was just looking at all these things. I was like, when I was so
this was your job to decide what weapon you wanted.
That's just like kind
It's okay.
of like it would fit for her, even though she's not particularly strength-based. But she's a furball.
Yeah.
They're strongish.
You're big and imposing as well, right? You're like 8 foot.
Big and imposing, yeah. I have a strength of 0, but it's fine.
So yeah. What would you like to do? Is it that, or is it something else? Because as I said, it doesn't bug me if it's the rapier or if it's like the scimitar or what, like nothing. I have no skin in the game, as it were. So it's just whatever you think Serene suits best.
I want a mole.
Okay.
I want a ram head mole.
Okay. So let's have that scene, right, where Rasira like takes you into some kind of like random like warehousey section of the palace, right? As you shuffle in with him, he does that thing where he's carrying like a lit candle very, very carefully close to him, and telling you to keep close, don't wander, and for God's sakes, don't start any conversations with anything.
With anything. Anything. There's things I can talk.
And, like, he stops and turns to me and goes, "Take this very seriously now." And like the candle's like flickering back and forth as he's like blustering over it.
If there's like just like a vase or something, maybe on the way past, I'll just whisper to it. It's nice to meet you.
Roll a charisma save.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, my charisma is so bad.
Yep. You fall to your knees.
Oh man.
Yep, you fall to your knees, and then in seconds there's like a massive burst of fire, and Rasira destroys the vase.
Oh.
And then you
Was
you just see him like absolutely like infuriated, and he's like, "I told you very, very specifically, merely moments ago, in fact, not to start conversations with anything. Please take it seriously, or I'll have to ask you to wait outside."
I didn't think that.
You didn't
vase
think
would...
precisely.
Oh.
Let me do the thinking for both of us.
Oh, he's being very serious. Okay. Oh, stop messing around.
Hand you the candle. Hold this.
Can I talk to the candle?
He just looks at you with that
Oh.
like that harsh candlelit, sunken eyes stare.
I won't talk to the candle.
You just hear him muttering as he walks back, like into the kind of the dark, kind of like big chasmous room that you're in, and like what you make. In fact, roll perception. We'll see what you make out of his mutterings. Perfect. You hear him muttering about how old that vase was and how the art of binding the magic that was attached to it is lost now.
Didn't tell you to destroy it.
Yeah, what does that tell you though? If he had to. It means that possibly the results of whatever your failed charisma save was going to be were going to be pretty bad. Yeah. Not great. Vaz life ain't the best life.
Oh.
Yep. Just constantly in a world of people saying vase or vase. It gets old very fast. So yeah, he shuffles through, and then eventually gets to a fairly big kind of cabinet thing that he unlocks by drawing a couple of like sigils down like in a seam, and then it like flicks open inside. He like rummages through, and then like tells you like, "Come closer. I need more of this light." Like even as he's saying that and gesturing closer, you can see like the candlelight just getting magically brighter as well. And then he's looking and goes, perfect. And then he like stands back and puts like his hands on like his hips and points at it, and you can see clearly it's like a pile of weapons that have just been like pushed to the side, and like in there lies said maul that's there on the shelf, as described as that long-handled like double ram's-headed thing that the picture shows. And he looks at you and says, "I think it's best if I take this now." And he takes the candle off and he says, "It's quite sensitive to touch, this one."
Oh. Can I?
Don't talk to it.
Oh, don't talk. Okay.
Not until we're out of here. We shouldn't even be talking to each other.
And I'll just
He just looks around suspiciously when he says that, into the dark.
I don't know if zips exist in this world, but I'll like zip mouth. Zip.
You could stitch it right. That'd be creepy.
Stitch it.
Yeah.
Throw away the needle afterwards.
And then I take it you pick up the mole.
Yeah, I'll kind of like turn to him, but just kind of nod as, "Can I pick it up?"
He's like very like energetically encouraging you to.
Okay. Pick it up.
Yeah, and it's pretty like it's unwieldy, right? Like it is pretty awkward to carry. And then he's like, "Okay, let's get out for now." And like he just like waves his hand, and like all the shelves like drastically shut, and the doors slam shut, and all the runes reform and vanish. And then he quickly like, like speed number 2 when you're running across the road. He's got that speed on the go as he like quick shuffles his way back towards the door that he came in. I assume you follow.
I'll quick walk
Yeah,
at the same time, which probably means I'll end up overtaking
Yeah.
him very quickly.
easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got out, he like seals the door back up, and he goes, oh, and shivers, and then like pulls like bits of like dust and cobwebs off his beard that just seems to have gathered. He says, it's storage, you see, and then blows the candle out, and sets it on the shelf next to the door. And he says, well, let's see if we can get this bound to you then. And he shuffles back to like his office. Yep, you like drag the small with you, or like heave it over your shoulder or whatever. And yep, you just head back to his office. You get there. On the way there, can I have a wisdom save from you?
Okay.
And there is no advantage from your charmed or frightened this time.
Okay.
Okay. You feel warm, right? Not from the mall or anything, just like an inner warmth. I think the best way to describe it would be if you're winter drinking, maybe. Get what I mean by that? Like an inner warmth.
Yeah, I had a couple of drinks, feeling a little warm.
Yeah. Or for our non-alcoholic drinkers out there, like when you get like a nice coffee on a cold winter day. Whatever
Right.
works for you. But alcohol worked too. That's where my brain went straight away. And yeah, like you've got that kind of inner glow. And like maybe you pass it off as you've just left that creepy room. And then it builds. Not to the point of like the temperature builds or anything, but like the swelling of the energy builds. Feels quite encompassing. You start to see the veins on like your like exposed like skin and stuff like start to like bulge a little bit. Anything you do with these discoveries? Or
I'll probably just kind of lean forward to Sarah, but Sarah, I'm feeling a bit warm. Is this the
like he casts prestidigitation and cools your clothing down for you as
no, not my skin, just something's not right. And then kind of like hold out the arm that's not holding the maul on my shoulder. Like, no, my veins looking weird. I feel weird.
And he says, I am sorry, Serene, I can't say I've ever noticed your veins before. Is this not normal?
No, it's not.
Ah. And he just stares at your arm.
Well,
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I feel.
Are you allergic to the arcane in any way? Like that's not even a question I think MD would know how to answer.
No. I don't. How would I know that?
Has this ever happened as a result of you being exposed to exotic magics?
I don't think so. I have other magic weapons and things, and they've been fine. What do I do?
Right. Keep an eye on it.
An eye on it.
Yes.
Right.
It's like trying to give you somewhere between a I'm totally not panicking and reassurance somewhere in there. Do you still want to proceed with the binding? And he waves to the weapon.
I suppose. maybe like first of all, like if I put down the weapon
Yeah, you can set it on the.
and step away from it for a bit, do I start to feel better? Or is it still, do I still feel the same?
You feel a very familiar sensation. Okay, that sensation.
It's not the blood stuff, is it?
That sensation takes you back to a particular library.
Oh, fantastic!
Mm-hmm.
Blood magic.
And yeah, there is definitely like a twitch in your wrist, as if you're reaching for the hammer.
It's my blood.
Mm.
Fantastic. So is my blood like traveling towards?
There's
the
just that.
wall?
See, almost
Does
like
it feel like it's like.
See, like almost like a reflex, like a very like what would you even call it? Psychosomatic maybe reflex, or just instinctive muscle memory reflex. Like it's almost like you catch yourself as your wrist flicks, as if somebody dropped something, you went to catch it type idea. Like that's when you're stepping back, your wrist makes that motion to like reach back for the hammer again. Nothing like crazy, alien arm syndrome or anything, but just enough to be unusual. And Masira's like, how does it feel being further away? And he looks at it and takes like a step back away from the hammer himself.
I think the hammer itself is fine. I think it's me. I don't know. Maybe my blood likes this. This is we were at the the library and the book and the blood. My blood feels. I don't think it's the hammer. I think that my blood likes the hammer.
This is a good sign, no?
Yeah, but the last time my blood liked something, it liked a book and it let a hellhole out.
Oh. He just slumps in his chair.
Oh.
Maybe that's not so good. Don't do that.
But the hammer, it's really nice.
I'm sure there's somewhere we can find to bind you to this hammer without you perhaps tearing open a planar rift towards a hell. Right? You realize he's no longer assuring you, he's asking.
I think so. Maybe. Oh, but the book it links with whatever the arcane thing does, and that book out a hellhole. Maybe the hammer will allow a hellhole. Maybe it will just good magic. Is it a good hammer? What does the hammer do?
Well, once you're all bound to it, we will find out.
You don't know what it does.
I didn't make it.
You just thought that looks nice. Serene will like that.
I was more a case of this was the least dangerous item in the room.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want something else? He gestures over his shoulder towards the door.
I don't know if I want to go back there.
No, I don't think you should go back in that room. He shakes his head very swiftly. You can tell the look of regret that he took you in the first place. Okay, blinks and stares at you and says, you don't need to go through with this, but if this is what you and he kind of stops and gestures to your arm, and then doesn't really know what to say, so he just starts tapping his thumbs together awkwardly.
Just kind of does deep breath and goes, well, whatever happens is going to happen. And she'll just pick up the hammer.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he starts muttering stuff about, probabilities, and then dismisses it once you pick up the hammer. Yeah, there is definitely an urge within you to connect with this weapon. But it's definitely coming from you and not the weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to try and attune to it, it definitely feels like if you go ahead with that, it feels like your body's going to attempt to attune to it more intensely than it would normally.
Right. Let's do it.
Okay. So I just do it in his office there, or are you going to go ask for a private room, or what's the plan?
I might wait until the others are back.
Okay. Okay, because I think we're due for Maraz to arrive in the room in a second, so yeah.
I'm just gonna wait until these, in case something goes wrong, that there's more than just Dracera there.
And as you say that, Maraz walks in. Blood!
Yeah, my blood feels weird. But I've got this new maul.
Could you elaborate?
Well, I felt really warm inside, not temperature, but I just felt like in myself I felt funny, and then my veins were weird, and I kind of hold up my arms and just kind of wave them in front of his face.
And it doesn't look weird to you, Maraz. There's no weird vein bulginess or anything. And then Serene notices it subsides.
And I'm going to take the hammer. I'm just going to
Now,
put my
here's
hand
my
around
question.
it.
Does Serene let go of the hammer?
I'm not trying to take it off. I'm just going to hold on to
No,
it while she's holding on to it.
that's still my question.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Would
I swing the hammer at Marat. No.
Yeah. I'd hold it for a bit and then maybe tentatively not let it go. Still, I'm gripping it tight now.
Okay. Yeah.
Let him touch the hammer, but not take it.
Okay, so Maratis touches Serene's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Capable of.
If you want. But do you want to?
It's mind games now.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'll let it go.
Mm-hmm.
For a few seconds. I'm not even looking at the hammer. I'm just looking at her. Feeling.
What's your strength score, Maras?
Fuck all.
But
it is 10.
okay, that's fine. It's awkward. It's a two-handed holding of it, but it's not.
I probably got it resting on the ground like his cane. You've probably not even got it off the ground. Just watching her. No.
I don't think so.
That's fine. Just getting priorities screwed up.
That's fair.
But it is very pretty. So.
It is. Yeah. And then I'll go over and sit down by the desk and attune to it.
And then Miss Harry just goes, we're doing it here then. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna take an hour. So what do you do, Morass?
Alright. Sarah, you're a man of great knowledge. Be able to discuss something. Perhaps mine and the stupid shall add.
Kind of just looks at you and looks back at Serene, and like zoning out, and then looks back at you and goes, "It seems to be a day of it, so out with it."
I need you to change my.
He goes, "Oh, they have changed. Look at that."
Our elf, as you, an aversion, and it is excessive. So
Didn't you just mention, like about an hour ago, that you should, like, you're going to try and beseech her help, and yet you blame her for such thing? I don't get your strange notions, Moratus.
You've got to think there's something to it, considering we're the only one that have a downside.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow and goes, "No, I just think that your people have spent thousands of years underground and thus have adapted to those conditions." He just shakes his head, like as if, yeah, this is definitely an evolution, not a god thing, but okay.
Regardless, it is a hindrance beyond. Just a thing I can do to make sure that I.
He looks at you and goes, "What do you mean?" "I don't have another hammer."
Do I look like I could wield a hammer?
He looks between the two of you, and then he just says, "I am trying to hold this kingdom together currently, Moratus. It is quite simply the greatest challenge I am likely to ever face in my life. And if I'm honest, I hope it is indeed the greatest challenge I ever face in my life, because I don't want to see what is more challenging than this, quite frankly, and I'm not even sure I'm quite up to the task. So if you had something in mind, please just tell me."
Change my. Them. Just you have to have something. You have eyes, dark elf eyes, and you can serve it.
Ah, I think I understand. The shakes his head. "It would not be without some discomfort." And he looks down at your hand and then back up to you when he says that, as if, like, fully appreciating that you've been through a lot, physically. And he says, "I would not be so swift to add to your discomfort, Moratus. You're one of the few apprentices I have taken
To do this. Body can be fixed. I know that. Pain is life.
Then perhaps..." You take like a big deep breath. "Perhaps there is something that I can do, but again, it can't be undone. You would have to live with it. It might not take hold, though, and you'd have to live with that also." If you truly believe that, Moratus, then yes, there is something we can try. But And he kind of like gives you that kind of very, you know, the face of concern. And then just says, take some time to consider this and then let me know. He kind of just like grips your shoulder, I guess, to attempt some kind of comforting gesture. And just starts patting it twice and then like goes back and observes Serene. And Zamaras too.
Just kind of. Is there any reflective surface in here?
Probably somewhere, yeah.
I will seek it out.
Sure, yeah. You do.
Look at myself for solid like 10 seconds. Time is not on our side, Sarah.
He can't hear you. Like you've went across the room.
Oh, all right. I'll return to him.
Yeah.
Shot and just rip his hand.
Yeah, and like you mildly like, you know, as if not quite expecting. He's obviously engrossed in whatever like happening with Serene, and he turns back to you and he says, "Yes, you've made your decision so swiftly.
Time is of the essence.
Unfortunately, I wish it were not true."
Do it.
And he says, "It is not necessarily advisable to do such magics in conjunction with whatever is going on here, but as you say, time. Come to this side though," and he like moves to like where his bed is summoned, and he brings his bed back. Says, "Lie down," and one moment, and he like just like stares up to the ceiling for a second, and then in walks his little sidekick with like a whole kind of like almost herbalism kit. And he starts like mashing up stuff, and then after like about 10 minutes of that, he says, "Drink this, it should numb everything, actually, and perhaps rub it around the eyes."
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's probably some like weird, like a very strong, somewhere between anesthetic and coconut smell coming from it. And then he looks at the assistant and just says, "Well, go. This isn't the place for you." And then the poor tired guy just like shuffles back out and closes the doors behind him. And yeah, like you like start to feel the effects of this like numbing pretty quickly. Lie down, sits like your affectations to the side. He then says, "It would be best if you attempt to relax, but also bite on this." And he puts like something in your mouth. Yep. It's like a piece of hardwood or something he's given you. And then it sounded really wrong, but you just get what I mean. Like, you know.
You said it! You said it!
Yeah, we said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I lampshade it, it's safer. So, moving on. I don't want the comments to get too risque. So, oh dear. Back in the zone. So the serious tone comes back out from under the bed, and he like leans over, and then he says, "Yes, let us just see what happens then, I guess." And then like you start to see him like start to cast, and you see like almost like the space above you bend and twist, and you can see like your vision slowly fading out, as if it's creeping in from the sides. It's going blurrier and blurrier, and then like more and more crazy magical fireworks are happening above you. Completely safe. And then they come much closer to your eyes, but again your vision's dulling so much that it's barely noticeable until your vision's kind of completely gone, and kind of a lot of your perception's kind of completely gone at this point. You're not necessarily conscious, but you're not necessarily unconscious. And then some mystical voice from beyond says, "Roll a D100 twice."
Okay.
Thanks to all of the people chipping in.
Yep, thank you, darlings.
So the first D100,
Oh, it's a 15. If I just did too late. Or would you rather
Yep.
me do?
No, it's fine. So that's a 15 or an 87. Right, what are you picking? Do you want to know what they are?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I'm happy.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
I'm happy for you to know what they are. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. Like,
Yeah, go for it.
neither of them are a dark elf, right? So there's
Okay.
that, right? There is that.
Okay.
So,
Good.
first one, the 15, my lucky number, by the way, is a mountain dwarf.
Nope.
Oh.
No.
And
Under no
the,
circumstances.
and the other one is human.
Oh, fuck off! Just make me go blind.
It's not the option.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Two of the worst
Sure.
options.
I was sure. I was like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but what if one's human and one's not?
The one's a
I didn't
dwarf.
say mountain, I was thinking dwarf.
Fuck
But
right
then they just
off.
happened to bring
Oh, my dice lot can eat a dick and die.
The thing is, though, obviously because there's a range here, like multiple, like you could have rolled human twice, for example. So
Oh, fuck off.
Wolf gives you dark vision, right?
Yeah, but it's dwarves, and dwarves are fucking evil in Maratus's head.
Yeah, but that would be fun.
But yeah,
What,
you don't
some
know.
kid-
You don't know whose eyes they are. I think it's
this
fine.
is a Natalie
They're
choice.
Patrovangis's
Yeah.
eyes. It would be adorable.
just in case your, your eyebrow game becomes so much stronger.
Mm.
Mhm.
Also, Dunderbell is great.
Yeah.
Ah,
Maratus would still kill
I don't think
Dondrobella.
Marathas
Like,
met her
all
though.
dwarves are bad.
I don't know if Maratus
They're
could kill
all
Dunderbella.
bad.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I just don't
Probably
know.
not, but he'd like to.
I don't mean statistically, I just mean like, I feel like you just end up too well fed.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, she's got crowbars and bad cakes.
I was going to say 15. I was going to say 15, so go for
Yep, which is it's the dwarven eyes.
fucking dirty dwarves. Oh,
Racism.
fucking knew it.
Oh,
I knew it. I fucking I'm so mad. Like legitimately seething.
I told you, don't roll if this was
I
going to
don't
be
know
your...
what they are though.
It's my luck though, the two that I couldn't have wanted less. Any other two would have been great, and I had a list choice of
Yeah,
how
but
many.
you could have rolled Dark Elf and Dark Elf, though.
I would have probably just laughed at that and thought, oh, cosmic joke. This is just.
I would have laughed because that would have been hilarious if you'd rolled Dark Elf and Dark Elf.
Yeah, I would have still taken it and just went, oh well, it's just.
I
you
think
just have to be.
story-wise.
yeah, story-wise.
Yeah, this
great.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. He's gone from having his dad's eyes to the eyes of the people that killed his dad.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, get to
You
my
start
mum.
seeing the
Fucking let my
situation
mum
with
look into
brand
my
new
eyes and be like, yeah, I changed my eyes to be the same as the people that butchered our dad or my dad and your husband. Great.
I mean, technically, no. But also technically, yes.
They killed my dad.
I mean, your dad
That's
died to
that.
wounds that he got in the war.
From.
Made his choice. It's fine.
Oh,
Oh, I need to kill more of them.
the
Kill more
nature
of them.
voice of Serene, like, yes. Nature is as nature does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, here we go. 15.
I mean, you know the answer. That like, there's no word to that. It was just us talking as players there. So, it does mean that you've got your dark vision, which is accustomed to life underground. You have dark vision and dark and dim conditions. You can see dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. You can't discern color in darkness, only shades of grey. So I think the only difference ultimately is that you have a 60 foot less from the dark elf
They're
eyes.
superior.
And you just get dark vision. You should really just Google dark vision and drag it over as a
Yeah, I've
feature.
got it already. I've just deleted them off my. Deleted them off.
Okie Right. I would probably add a note in there as well at some point saying what you did, just so that you know why that's the case. So yeah. While that's going on, back to Serene.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you're like maybe 3/4 of the way through the attunement cycle, you can feel all your past wounds again, in the sense of like you can feel the scars of them, like you did before. Okay?
Right.
Because remember, they all seemed to turn into like weird sigils the last time.
Yeah.
You can feel like all of them almost as if desperate to open again.
Amazing. Good. Yeah.
Are you gonna go with it or fight it?
Go with it.
Okay, yep, I like it. Bold choices this evening. This is what happens when Crumbar leaves. Everybody feels they have to up their game. So, yeah, you feel like your cuts and your wounds open, and you feel the blood trickling out of them again. It all seems to be, again, very Sectum Sempra from Harry Potter vibes. And it all seems to be like coalescing around this weapon, and like your hands, and then obviously due to the lack of blood, you're starting to feel very, very cold, very, very, very cold, to the point where you can feel the ice as your blood freezes and bonds with this weapon. And you can consider this weapon to have the Frost Brand trait in addition to what using your spell casting ability for its attacks and damages. There's going to be a couple of tweaks to the Frost Brand trait. So what that allows you to do is when you hit with an attack using this magical weapon, the target takes an extra d6 cold damage. In addition, when you hold it, you have resistance to. It says fire, but I'm going to switch it to cold. Okay. In freezing temperatures, the blade sheds bright light in 10-foot radius and dim for an extra 10. Note that it is not sunlight, not that that would matter anymore, but it is indeed 10 feet of bright light, and that's in freezing temperatures. And when you draw this weapon, you can extinguish all non-magical flames within 30 feet of you. This property can be used no more than once per hour. So that is what you bind to.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then you feel like all of your scars have like returned and they're back to like where they should be.
So I've got regular scars again.
Everything you did have before all the kind of like runes took them away are all back now. Yeah.
Oh, so I've got the runes again.
No, the runes never came back.
The runes are gone. The runes are gone. Okay.
Yep, they never came back. It seemed like they took your scars away the first time, but now it seemed like all those wounds opened up again. The blood poured out of you and then seemed to freeze.
Got it.
Do you want to roll an Arcana? If you want, it's up to you.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay. This may or may not be a side effect from being bitten by the white.
Oh, funny about that. Yeah.
Odd, right?
Yeah, strange.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Quite. So yeah, you should be able to find all the necessary requirements to make that work, but I can make sure it works for you on your sheet as well if you're not sure how to roll 20 foot at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was trying to pull full Frostbrand across, but it wasn't letting me.
Yeah, it's kind of because it's like an attachment to a weapon. If you pull a maul across, we can build the maul up to be
okay.
To be Frostbrand. We can do that. And I'll sort that out with you either at the end of the session or at some point soon. Right, while that's going on, Arya, Isla, and Eremos went towards the kitchens. Yes. So, you just get down there. What's the plan? It's look for Crumbar, but you just don't see him.
Which is surprising. I'm gonna guess that he just finished all of the food. All of it.
He probably filled up on food and probably went elsewhere, yeah.
Yeah, I would maybe like again.
Trail of crumbs.
No crumb bar trail. No.
Rats.
Probably why there's no crumbs.
I would maybe ask someone.
Okay.
I would continue my streak up. Grab a random person.
Okay, random person. Okay,
Oh,
roll.
God.
We don't know anybody here. Everyone's a random person.
D100? Let's see what we get.
Okay.
Okay. Ironically and racistly, you go to the half-orc that you see.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yep, so you find an orc, because keep in mind half-orc doesn't exist as a race. Yep.
Oh, I feel bad
Can
now.
you roll a d3 for
I
me
feel
as well?
okay. What's left? No.
/r space 1
So
d3. That should be you. If you tap up on your keypad as well, it should. If it was one of your last rolls, you should be able to cycle through them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Female.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say that I feel like Ida wasn't paying attention and just grabbed somebody.
Yep, that's
It
fine.
wasn't going.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we do random
Which
rolls.
bit did you grab?
Yeah,
Oh
I just
my.
grab someone and then I look up and then I go, "Hi, oh, and I would. Have you seen our friend Crumbar? He's and then I really awkwardly stop.
Kind of looks.
He's wearing golden armor.
Can I
Is
use
he?
that?
No, his skin is golden.
It can
When
be
how
golden.
I describe Crumbar,
Yes.
I'm feeling I don't know. Yeah, I describe Crumbar.
Okay. Then
How he looks.
the female orc looks at you and says, "Oh, the other orc. Why didn't you just say that?"
Oh, you're right. That would have been quicker. Sorry.
Yeah, there's not that many of us outside our tribes. I just shakes her head, kind of like confused. You can see like one of our tusks is actually like pierced through, and there's like a jewel in the space in one of our tusks.
Cool.
She goes, like he was here, but then shrugs and looks around. Then he left.
Oh. Do you know which direction he went in?
Points at the door you just came in.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't talk to him. They can be quite well, you don't really know what you're going to get when you're talking to an exiled orc.
Well, also, he's very grumpy when he's hungry.
Haha, pats her belly. Aren't we all?
Fair. Thank you. I'll go back to Arya.
Yeah, like
He
half
left
takes
this
like
way.
a bite out of the loaf that she was holding, and then says good luck, and like goes back to her table.
Like, wave jauntily.
Yep. You can make assumptions, Isla, that was probably her arcane focus in her tusk.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
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 I'm going to message. No, I'm not going to message him. He doesn't like that. I start to do it, and then I go, no, wait. He doesn't. Okay. I look at Erebus and Arya, just like, I don't.
I think Aramas just says, perhaps he doesn't want to be found. Is there something you require of him?
It's just. Well, I think everyone wants to leave quite soon.
Then perhaps one of your... And he looks you up and down, tries not to say, goes, magically adept people could perhaps contact him with sending?
Oh.
Is that something you're
He
able to
doesn't.
do?
Oh, if he's within 120 feet. But he doesn't like it. It doesn't seem nice to do. I'm just going to shout.
Yeah.
I feel I'm probably heard as loudly 120 feet away.
Roll
Like
intimidate.
shouting.
That feels
Yeah,
like
sure.
shouting, right? Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I just be like, Grandma!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd be so amused if you rolled a 1 right now.
Oh, look at that. It's so good.
Would have been good if I rolled a 1.
So
I
good.
did only roll a 7.
Tiny but mighty.
Yeah. Sometimes good though. It's like a mighty bellow. I think immediately like Eremos covers his ears when you bellow. And there's like perhaps a little warning next time would be
Sorry, I forget. Insides, yes.
for someone so petite. You are quite loud. Petite's an elven word.
Oh. Youngest of a few. You've got to be loud.
He just nods like with a kind of like strained smile. And then says,
Arya's also gonna say no.
on you go.
In a tone that obviously kind of shows that she means it lovingly. It's like, oh, I'm sure it's helped you not get lost in a crowd many a time. If they can't see you, at least they can hear you. So that must be helpful.
Mama always said that. Even if you can't see me, you can hear me.
That I could believe.
Taught you well.
I mean, like, wait a second and be like, I don't think it worked, though. He's not. Maybe we head back up? Yeah, I suppose see if someone can more long range. Hey, I could shout from the tallest tower.
Perhaps I should wait for you below then. And just smirks.
Could get you earplugs.
What are those? A snail for each ear.
You know, you put cotton, just cotton in your ear. Shove it in there.
And yeah, you just can head back up to the main room, as it were, where Sarah's office at the top of yeah, so you just head back upstairs. Again, because Crombar and obviously Bastille are narratively excused, it's not really worth pursuing them at this stage because it's not like I'm gonna.
No.
I don't really want to RP for them.
Yeah, that's fair. I liked the goose chase though.
Yeah, I liked it too, and it got us that cool female orc lady.
Yeah, she was cool. I liked her. Should have asked for her name. Dumb.
I know, right? I didn't even give her a name because I didn't think you would ask. I named the elf guy. You didn't ask his name because he was rude.
Yeah, I didn't care about him.
Yeah.
Screw him.
The amount of detail I put into his name was unnecessary for how quick I threw it together. I randomly rolled. I'll just tell you, is it right? Because I randomly rolled Padan, Padan. I realised that it's quite fitting if an elf's named after like the god of knowledge and understanding, and they'll hope still be impressive, right? So Padan, with that slight pause in it, was what his name was. I assume he goes by Dan, though, so he doesn't seem pretentious.
Not that he needs help with that.
Not at all. And I just decided very, very last minute just to make him an asshole. So,
No, I liked it. It lives up to Anna's main belief about wizard. Moratus notwithstanding.
Like, I did like Candira's opinion of them was my favourite, just meddlesome. Yep, strong opinion. So yeah, you all get back into the room together. We can narratively excuse or unexcuse whoever needs to be there, but like, yeah, as I returned, Moratus, you kind of like regain consciousness. You blink a bit. It's, again, probably quite jarring. I don't really know how to describe this part, I'll be honest. So jarring's the best we're getting here. For this particular experience. But probably the fact that, like, you know, I can't even remember what time of day it's meant to be, but if it is like bright light outside, that's probably not quite as, you know, overexposed as it probably normally would be to like dark elf eyes. So yeah, there's that. Obviously Serena's sat with a mole that's all frozen. And kind of scarred, I suppose. Yeah.
Some dried blood on my arm, just.
Yep. Kind of looks like she'd just been through a massive fight, to be honest. Yeah. And then Arya and Isla and Eremos walk in. I think Eremos will narratively excuse himself to go collect the party's things with, say, Crombar or I think Bastille came with you guys. I think he's off doing his quest in Omen. So yeah, so Crombar cannot be off doing the packing up the stuff to leave options with Eremos. So it's Isla and Arya that walk into the room. What's the scene?
And
What was that, Isla?
I just like splutter a lot and stare between them and look very confused, and will definitely be like, what? Are you okay? What happened? We were only gone half an hour. Or longer, because an hour, yeah.
It was at least an hour, but that's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
It might only feel like half an hour, though.
Yeah.
I've got a new weapon.
And it attacked you?
Quite
No.
fascinating, yes, quite fascinating.
I just held it for a while.
And then it froze.
Oh. I'm gonna like stare at Serene. Like, are you okay?
But
'Cause-
how? Surely you didn't get that from a book.
Rooster just shakes his head side to side slowly.
There's a kind of a place with magic things.
It's not really important.
Yes. Okay. Rasira gave me this weapon.
It was just lying around, and if she thinks she can make a good use of it, then it may as well be wielded by somebody with the intention to do good. You follow.
He had it, just lying in a spare room that no one was really using. So, he gave it to me.
I'm gonna see if I can find a gif conveys my right now.
Nice.
No guarantee.
No worries, we'll all wait pensively. Yeah. And Maras, anything coming from your side of the room?
How easily can I stand up considering I've just been numbed?
It's probably like you wear glasses, so you know when you get a new prescription and everything's just that bit jarring where your eyes need to get used to the new
Wear
prescription.
glasses.
No?
No. I wear the blue screen glasses because of my art, but I don't wear glasses otherwise.
Okay. In that case, then, okay. How to word this then? You know when you're really drunk?
No, never done that either. Try again.
Okay. Let's try. Third time's the charm. Okay. If I can't get something on the third go, then we're just undoing the whole event.
Okay.
I mean the RP. I mean, so let's see. It's a secret GM rule, by the way. If you make 3 consecutive mistakes,
If you
You're
make
done.
them.
you're just done. Yeah. Also, let me watch this GIF. What else? What else would I describe? Because my original description would be like, anytime I've had to get a new prescription, your eyes are constantly fighting to adjust to the new prescription, even though it's the one you should be on. It's just because your eyes have been so used to dealing with your old one. So it means that you've got like a certain strain level where you're like tensing a certain level. So yeah, maybe another one would be, see if you were resistance training. There you go. That's something you should know. If you were resistance training, and then you don't train with the resistance anymore because it did its job. Thus
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense? Like where you've been at a straining level constantly, and now you're not.
Yes.
Does that make sense? But because you're not, your body's compensating like it needs to strain to still reach the level it can do effortlessly now. Does that make sense? So you're over.
Yes.
That's exactly what I mean. But that's exactly what the eyes thing is like, by the way. if you ever decide that you want to fuck up your eyes and get glasses. Just so you know.
No, I'm cool. I'm deaf in 1 ear. I'd rather keep my,
Okay.
my fucking eyes.
But at least I
closed.
knew. At least we've got the muscle thing, right, for resistance training. So yeah,
Thank you.
it's like that.
Uh,
So your eyes are
okay.
that bit too. They're almost trying to overcompensate when they don't need to.
Okay, and how well can I move about considering...
But there's nothing happened to the rest of you.
No, but like the drugs out my system, whatever you used to kind of numb me up, so like I can move and not be like, oh
Yeah.
fuck my bones.
Yeah, it was mostly
Cool.
applied to your face anyway, so that's fine.
Nice. I'm just gonna head to the reflective surface that I found earlier.
Yeah.
What do I see?
I don't know. We should probably roll for eye color. Let's see if we can get a random eye color generator. Oh, a color wheel.
Ooh.
Okay, so do you want me to spin this on your behalf?
Yeah, go for it.
I've clicked the button. Oh man, we were so close to rainbow.
I don't think he'd want rainbow.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
I probably wouldn't have allowed rainbow eyes anyway, but let's see.
Aw.
There's what we got, and there's what it landed on.
Okay,
So,
lovely.
regular looking eyes with that iris color.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He just drags his claws across the surface and mars it so he can't see himself. Whatever that surface was, he just claws right down through it, scratching it completely.
Probably mirror, so it probably breaks.
Yeah, cool. That's fine.
Take a d4 of damage from mirror, I guess.
Cool.
Of course.
Oh wow, when I roll good.
So, you see Marat across the room, and then like break a mirror. While this is going on, this exchange about the room that clearly doesn't exist according to Rasira as far as they can tell.
Are you
Right to see you.
I look at Serena and just nod because I was like, yeah, that's totally where I was going to.
Okay.
It's done. Doesn't matter anymore.
Can you turn around?
It's to do.
I mean, technically none of you have any idea what he's done. Since all of the
I was like-
conversations about
I
were
was-
player agency, right?
I was concentrating on my weapon. I was in the room, but really wasn't
Yeah, you definitely weren't perceiving
paying
them.
attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were too busy trying to deal with your weird jank freezy blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Isla, Arya, any last words for the session?
I kind of just want to go, oh, this is Elf in the library that was a right dick.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's a perfect place to end. Maybe even have Rasir go, Padan. Yes.
Yes, I
Like,
love that he's
yeah.
like the town asshole.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that can
Just
be
loiters near the door to like wait for like people asking questions to be a dick to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh dear. So yeah, that's the end of the session. What would you like to call this session?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So things that happened. You scried on Justoria ? And then we had that vision of the cairnwood and the marsh beneath it. Something saying, essentially beckoning you there. We then had obviously the broken crystal ball thing. We had Maratis's eyes being changed. We had the frozen mall being created. We had Crombar off eating food. Eramos chilling in a library, nothing crazy there. Isla making friends. Yeah. Yes. There's not a good enough pun that ties them all into sight-based puns like scrying and
I
the
know.
eyes.
I know.
You know. This is a tough one. Plus, a vision of fire, nice. Yeah. Strong. Eyes forward. I like it.
Really shutting down, so
That's okay. It's a strong contender.
that was very silly.
Yeah, I just wrote eyes and then tried to think of them to go after it.
It's like, is it too bad to just
Could
say,
we
like,
just do
eye
the
pun?
eyes emoji?
I don't think it translates over.
Oh.
Sadly.
Yeah. To go just full on Hobbit and just
Could also have something like, let's see, picking up the trail since these are, reassessing where to go as well. Yep. Through snow and flame.
Ooh.
The through part implying vision.
Yeah, we're not great at getting vision metaphors, though, are we?
I like vision and visions. It's almost double vision.
Ooh. Yeah.
double vision.
Seeing double, scrying double. Actually, this is actually quite a good one, and I'm just going to pat myself in the back for it. Shattered sight.
I think I was about to say that, but I think we've already done
But we
that.
used something.
I
Do you know
we
we did
used
something
that
when we blew up the eye?
Yeah, when we blew up the eye. I think
Very
we might have
possibly.
done that.
When did we blow up the
we
eye?
did that. Yeah, 23rd of July, 2020.
Damn it.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
98.
We have done that, like, I do this so often where I end up just going, oh yeah, this is a good one because we picked it before.
We've done it.
Session 98 though, so I don't feel bad about not remembering that immediately. Okay, right, well, not Shattered Sight then. How about Sight Shattered?
Oh.
Flip it around.
Also, Reflections is not a terrible one. But yeah, I ain't got any other ideas, I don't think. I think I'm capped out. I'm a vote for one randomly. Don't talk to anything was also like...
Yeah, that was good.
That poor vase.
What was in it?
Mm.
What was
Maybe
in it?
you-
in the room.
Maybe you
Why
were
couldn't you
about
talk
to
to the candle?
Yeah. Someone talk to the cat.
Maybe the candle's just a bit sassy.
Yeah, maybe.
Just start
House
singing,
of
be our guest, be our guest. It's like, don't start another, I'll start singing.
Like it.
Oh dear.
Right, the great stuff.
You need to find a matching clock with that, though.
Exactly.
Can't separate them, they'd miss each other.
Don't start the candle, he'll start the clock and then that'll wake up the wardrobe. Oh dear. You'd feel like you'd get more out of Moll, wouldn't you,
Something
from a name?
say in my sleep.
You definitely...
Oh, I was thinking,
Let's go to the mall.
let's go to the bar.
Oh, a new perspective. Or even just new perspective. That could also work, I suppose. Any other votes? Okay, we got vision and visions. How about yourself there, Serene? Okay,
Awkward.
that's okay. Nope, it's okay. There was 5 of us, so it's just Arya. What would you like to vote
I
for?
want to vote for my own.
That's okay. Feel free
Your
to vote.
own?
Yeah, you can vote for your own if you want. I don't mind. I voted for mine, so
Fine.
it's okay. There we go. Vision and visions it is. And goals. Let's have a look at those now.
Went for the path of least brain effort.
If I was allowing swearing in it, that asshole would have been funny as a title.
That asshole.
Yeah.
Well,
Padan.
Which one? We've met a few of them.
no, the orc lady was lovely.
Yeah.
I like her.
Not today, just in general.
Yeah.
Her
Not
damn
today, just in
tick.
general.
Oh my god. Hey, if you put it in, it
I
might get all the
feel
votes.
What?
It was such a tiny part of it.
Hence why pedantic it would be.
Oh.
Man, that's so funny.
Check. Is that it?
I mean, just for how much she's lasting alone, I'll give you a vote. It's good. It's good.
Even if that's all I get, just one smiley face. That's all I need.
Anybody readdressing their votes, or are you happy to stick with vision and visions?
I mean, I'll take
Yeah,
it
I
for
feel like
mine, but I wasn't voting for the other ones. I'm happy with myself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it. I feel like it is still vision and vision, sadly, but pedantic was good.
Yeah.
It was good. So, goals. Did we get a new Eye of Janus?
No.
Did we locate the GGW?
No.
No.
Did we check in with the Astral Hammer, whatever that means?
No.
How you doing?
I love that goal.
So
So much.
object.
It's the I love the wording of it. To be fair, you were told this week don't talk to inanimate objects, so
That
Yeah.
is true.
yeah. Retrieve Candira's body.
No.
Okay. Did you prevent the body retrieval mission from causing a situation? Not yet, are you? Bastial has not learned trains yet, as far as we know. Like his return will just be him crashing a train into the scene, I imagine.
I'm so
I've
excited.
learned trains. Yeah.
Trains.
It just steps off and goes, I like trains now.
We have an agreement.
Okay. Serene, have you checked in on Justoria?
I did.
So
I think I did.
technically
We did.
you scried on Justoria by using Arya, but you specifically, Serene, are you going to go and actually check in on Justoria? See? Like, what can you tell me
I
of
didn't-
Justoria?
I didn't check in on her, but I heard her, I think.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You definitely think it was Justoria, right?
I think it was her.
Demon Justoria, to be precise.
Yeah, Justoria with her cool reverb mod.
I know where she might be.
You definitely recognise it. As I said, you were the only one actually of the two of you that recognised it. Yep, because it's your home.
Yep. I
Um,
know that
Yeah.
I heard her, so I think that she's potentially alive.
otherwise, the scrying in theory would be
Wouldn't
questionable because technically creatures need to be alive. It's very awkward. The rulebook's very vague. So yeah. So I would say you'd need to kind of go and actually see if you've got evidence of her there to go check.
See her and, physically.
Yeah, so it's still something you
Okay.
can do, and you've now got a lot more
That's
clues
fine.
as to where to be for that to work. Isla, yours is get party to Ashen Wasteland safely.
No,
Not
but
quite.
I started looking.
Yeah. And
So,
you did learn that most people leave it alone out of respect. So that's a thing. But if you want to learn
yeah, so
more
that's good
details,
to know.
more details would probably have to come from the
So,
Axis and like the historians and or ruling class there.
ooh.
Since it wasn't like it was only 50 odd years ago that happened. So
Mhm.
you've also then got technically Indra Lament sent the party there before. So there's that.
Okay. So it sounds like it's not going to insta kill us.
Yeah.
Setting foot there. So that's good. Like it's not been left alone out of, yes, well, if you touch the ash, you turn to ash.
Yeah,
So.
they've waded through said ash, possibly swallowed some of it, and then, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was lots of, it was like well up to their waists and more. So there's that. Crombar's Serac Santa Cora for leads on GW. You know, again, he may choose to go off and do that on his own narratively. It really depends on the next couple of weeks. But for now, he's with you guys. And Moratus.
No.
No.
I did not.
But technically, it still could happen, just with a different bit of context.
I'm good. I don't want to address the eye thing anymore.
Okay. Tell me, folks, are any goals changing now that you kind of have picked like a direction to go in? Right?
Mm,
And so, are any of the generals changing, or are they all staying?
I think they all stay.
And if
That's still.
Okay. Anyone's personal is changing. Okay, man, you do have a team here. You just can like outsource.
Anybody got suggestions?
be honest.
What's the next step for the gang? Is it
I
go
think
to the
it's-
Kieran Woods then?
Mhm. I think so.
Okay.
I think like Julie, check on Serene's
Maybe
family.
you could see if you can get us there or near there.
I can.
Yeah, that's not.
Got a
That
magic
shouldn't
seven
be a
level
challenge.
Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't require research or something. Okay, gotcha.
No, like Maratus does have teleport now as a spell, which is just it's such a fun spell.
Oh yes, rolling a D100. Me luck. Yeah, no, Ryan, we're gonna end up in the fucking sea. Don't be stupid.
It's such a fun spell. So, any suggestions? So, when you're there, what's the plan? Are you going to split up or like check in on the fam first, or try and check on Justoria first? What would be the plan?
I would
Wow.
push family.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, I suppose it depends where we like.
Were you bamfing? Oh, have I cut out? Have you cut out? Hello? Hello?
Go from there.
Oh, I think I lost everybody's audio briefly there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my reply to your question was, I think it's. You said I think it depends on, and I was like, yeah, were you bamfing? And then I just got no
Yeah.
audio from that point on.
Oh.
So
Yeah, so it'd be like it would potentially be like, yeah, where we bounce him, like
it's likely to be
Friday,
your like
like,
settlement, right?
home.
It's likely
Yeah.
to be there. If that's
exactly.
you
It
know,
means family first, and then out from there.
obviously the more
if they're
familiar
there.
you can make it to Maratus, the better. So
Yeah.
for the jump. So yeah, okay. So if you're there, any goals you can think of that could happen there that Maratus could perhaps do for your people, right? Because you could
We
always.
become best friends with my family. We can adopt you. Do you want us to adopt you? You've got a mum, but we can adopt.
I've got a mum who's currently in a place that I won't go. I think Maratus is quite content with maybe at the end of this just going and living somewhere alone forever.
It's quite secluded. We can get you a tree.
Yeah.
Live in a tree. Oh, legit though, like I'm now thinking, I'm like, I can't go near my mum again. Shit. Not with looking like
It's
this.
fine. It's fine. We just disguise you. It's totally fine.
Yeah, my mum's totally going to see through magic. She's more magically OP than all of us put together.
Maybe not put together.
Definitely.
So
We
pretty strong.
But yeah, nah.
weaponize Janus.
I'll just do a Magna and replace one of the eyes. Actually might look better than what I've got now. That'd be cool. I'd take that.
You don't want ruby poisoning.
As I said, we'll just like tattoo eyes on your eyelids. Just have your eyes closed. Fine.
No, I think this is
This isn't fixing the goal though, this is just malazing. So
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't honestly
Yeah.
like whatever, I don't not
So-
thinking right now.
yeah, within like Kenwoods, I suppose it would be make sure my family's safe.
Something.
Check in on the white dragons, maybe, and then it's find Justoria, close hellholes.
Okay.
That's
Oh lordy.
yeah,
Big,
that's
big things.
quite a big things, man.
Yeah.
And avoid all the annoying fae that are.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Poppy and friends.
It's like avoid the fae, avoid the demons, go towards the demon Justoria.
Yeah.
Yep.
Avoid demons, except
Don't
for one specific
annoy
demon.
white dragons that may or may not be already annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be exciting.
List.
Yep, just a simple, straightforward list. Anything else on the goals page changing currently? Nope.
Fixing flowers. Go for a dip in the lake. Just have a tree.
Dog snorkeling.
Just go for like a spa day.
Yeah. In the swamp, there's mud. You can use that for face packs.
Also, Maras, the reason why that's not a particularly good goal, which is ensure the safety of Serene's family, is purely because where's the end point of that? Right?
Oh yeah, they just live with us now.
Just like constantly. Like yeah, it's
Wrap them in cotton wool.
Yeah,
I
it's
love them, but I don't want to bring them with us.
yeah, it's sadly a slightly too open-ended one. If that is us, we'll move on to a wrap-up a chat time. So I'm going to start us off. Are you? Because I know you're probably the most sleepiest.
Thank you. Yeah, not sleepiest. It's just brain just going a bit nuts. Well, we've had a bit of a wild goose chase, but we met some flavorful characters on the way, and got to have a bit of a laugh at Natalie's expense when the two she didn't want were the two that popped
Oh,
up.
I'm legitimately fucking raging, by the way.
Man, it could have went so much worse though.
Oh no, like
Oh.
legit fucking
I'm sorry, but what?
unbelievably angry at this. Like, it is the worst. It was the two that I said, please don't be.
But I'm sorry, from my perspective at least, it was a bit funny. Oh yeah, so sorry about that. But it was a bit interesting to see that everyone still has something to do with weird ink stuff. I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, they'll at one point just pick up some empty notebooks and then suddenly they'll have all that darkness and whatever in them, in whatever form he chooses, and he'll be like a bit lighter and, you know, more like the Ermos we knew.
Yeah.
Kind of my hope there. Bits and bobs with notice here, but we shall live and we shall see.
Yeah.
Not sure which order.
Yeah. Optimism at its finest. No, good. Anything else, my
Have
dear?
you met me, optimism? No, that will be me, and I know that everybody's schedules are going a bit okay from next week onwards. So
Indeed. This could be
Yeah,
it for
I
the
don't
winter
know.
break, depending on what happens schedule-wise. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh lordy.
So I just want to say, if that's the case, it's enough freaking fantastic year playing with you guys again.
Yeah,
Here's to the next one.
I know, definitely. My sentiment exactly.
Yeah.
No, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Had a
you.
great time tonight as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Sleep well.
Indeed, you too, my dear.
Well.
And
Bye-bye.
bye. Isla.
Oh, I enjoyed just getting to react to things.
Mm.
That was fun.
Mhm.
I know emotional things have still happened. People are feeling feelings, but less feelings than last week, and I appreciated that.
Mhm.
This felt like that sort of slightly more comedic episode that happens after something really tragic's happened in a long-running TV show.
Yeah, the lighter noted one. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with talking objects and
Yeah.
candles and assholes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I just enjoy that every time Isla interacts with like wizardy things, it just confirms all of her stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
She's just always like, yeah, this is why I'm on the other team.
Yep.
And I think she struggles not to just like shout that at people, especially at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
I think she'd quite like to just electrocute everything and fuck off into the night, but she's not holding it together.
Yep.
Just.
And that's fair. Like, I think it's almost like the impression I get is like Isla's seen what Sir Rules went through and is going, I think one of us needs to tank
Yes.
for a bit. So
Yeah,
mhm,
like I've got to hold it together
mhm,
because
mhm.
yeah, you do that. You do that. You're like, no. I'll be the strong one for now, and then I'll collapse later. It's fine.
Yep.
It's a totally emotionally healthy way to deal with things.
Completely. Yep.
Yeah.
But you're a sorcerer. Like, your power is emotional.
Yeah. So yes, I've enjoyed wandering around randomly talking to people.
Mhm, mhm.
I enjoyed getting to shout. That was fun.
That was good. Yeah. A mighty belly.
but-
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like hugs are needed,
Mhm,
but I am excited to see where Serene's from.
mhm.
Even if it's potentially on fire and also frozen. And yes, excited to see where we go next. Had
Yeah.
lots of fun.
Oh, good. I'm pleased. And Moratis.
I mean, I think we know my opinion of what just happened, so I don't see much point going into it.
If that's the
Yeah.
summary of your thoughts on the session, we can skip.
Yeah, mistakes were made. Huge mistakes were made.
Okay.
Oh,
Serene.
that.
Serene.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good. Mahomes on fire / frozen. I wasn't expecting that when I was scrying on Historia, so
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
a surprise. Yeah, it's going to be interesting if we go there.
Yeah.
See what's happening. You know, got a fancy new weapon
Yeah.
that made my blood go weird. So that's
Mm.
fun. So that's interesting. See that it wasn't just that book. But
Yeah.
there's something in my blood likes arcane things. That's great. No.
Mhm. Always good. Reassuring.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, that's exciting.
Kind of makes sense a bit, right? Given like even what you kind of discovered around the High Druid and stuff like that, though, right? Definitely something not so what you thought about maybe your abilities or your origin and such. You've definitely been on a journey of who actually am I? What actually am I? What can I do?
What, where, who am I? Yes.
Mm-hmm. When is Serene?
When am I?
How?
That's the most wise.
I'll do you one better. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Anything else, my dear?
I'm very even though I know Natalie and Rattus didn't want those eyes, I think narratively it's the most fun.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be great to see.
Oh no, like end campaign, I'm gouging the eyes out. Like legit. Once Maratis is done and he's just away to live, he's doing something. He's gonna have to fix that because fuck that.
Exactly, but that's the most fun, like, because it's the most interesting eyes that you could have got.
They don't even
Yeah.
look good. They look like shit. As I put in the art, like the downgrade is so real.
Just little green twinkly eyes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, going from black Solera with like magenta eyes that can have bioluminescence built into them to green eyes, which I have and I fucking hate.
Oh, green eyes are great.
Oh, I love
Oh, they're
that.
fucking awful. They're
I love green
awful.
eyes.
Fucking nothing works with them. Green is not a great color, so yes, not particularly pleased. Everything went wrong that could have went wrong. The type of eyes I got, the color that you managed to get, everything. I'm just like, come the fuck on.
This is the joy of rolling randomly and going with it. These are the
Yeah,
decisions we need to
regrets.
live with.
Chaos rain.
Yep. And I've just learned I should never do it again, so.
This is the downside of playing a game that involves random
It's
chance.
the best
Yeah.
part.
Yes, that's
Yep.
No.
it's a lot of the game.
Yeah, so I've already changed the art in Maratus, and I'm like, oh, I want to delete all the art of him. It looks fucking awful.
Okay, so
Just
personal
over it, like,
regrets aside, Serene, is there any more thoughts on the session?
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
perfect. Maris, do you have any thoughts on the session now?
Like it's still the same, just like I feel like that's tainted the whole. Like there was so much cool stuff, like talking to Eremos and stuff, and now all I can think of is you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that, and that's all that's going off in my head. So it's just like.
And there was a lot of discussion about your agency regarding the decision during the break, before the break,
I
after the
know.
break. So, alas, we live
It
and
is.
learn. But beyond that, thank you all for playing. Thank you to everybody who watched as well. If you're rewatching this, why? But also thank you. And yeah, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your winter break if this is the last time we see you for a while.
No.
Bye, folks.